MTC Beat. MTC Beat.
Hello everybody and welcome to what we're hoping is the final game of what is becoming an increasingly stressful series against the Washington Wizards. Our plan with these was to do the first and the last of each series. We missed the first, we're hoping we haven't missed the last. You got myself, Liam Jenkins, Sixers managing editor Zach Chalvalella here to call all of the action. Great to see some people in the chat. Vinny Crabcake says go Sixers, Justin straight in with 10-9-8-76. There's a lot of optimism tonight, as there should be, but ultimately there is some concern with the Sixers, obviously without Joel Embiid. Our writer Sean Bernard put out a fantastic article citing today about how the Sixers are going to have to adapt, what Doc Rivers is going to do. How do you see this impacting the team, like before this game starts? Obviously you can't really replace a player like Joel Embiid, but how big is this loss?
Yeah, there's really, like you said, there's no replacing a Joel Embiid. Even if you, say, had Karl Anthony Towns on the bench, you're not replacing Joel Embiid. That's just how good he is on both ends of the court. So really, it's about adapting. And what that looks like in this situation for Philadelphia is kind of playing a little bit of Washington's game. Now, Washington, they like to play a little pace. They like to pick things up a little bit. You know, obviously, Bradley Beal's a walking bucket. Russell Westbrook, you know, we understand that he likes his pace and everything. It's, I think, about the Sixers outrunning, working to Ben Simmons' strength also, okay? And so far early in the game, that looks to be just what they're doing. You know, they're looking to get out on the open floor, and they're looking to put Washington on their heels.
Yeah, I was going to say, we kind of timed this stream perfectly. I think exactly as we went live, the ball was tipped off. So it was a good start.
Exactly.
As things stand, it's 7-4. Yeah, Bradley Beal to the free throw line. I know one player we don't really want to see to the free throw line too much will be Ben Simmons, which is where we saw a lot of issues not too long ago where there was just some blatant shitounery, I think, by Washington, trying to get him to the line, trying to know that he's going to make, maybe 50-60% at a max and try and take advantage of it. What can the Sixers do tonight to stop that from happening again?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think that you should run from it. I think it's something that you should kind of go out with a full head of steam, embrace Ben Simmons, have your guys be confident around him. Don't hide away from it because you're just going to get in Ben's head at that point. You know, it's Ben Simmons is shooting 25% from the line, and it is clearly not good enough. But he has been a better free throw shooter than that in his past. So really what we want to see, try and push the ball. If they want to foul you, let them foul you. Let them get all their guys in foul trouble, just like they would if Joel Embiid were in, okay? And try and limit some of these guys and their minutes. You know, obviously Joel Neto, if he's fouling Simmons, that's not going to do too much to Washington. But, you know, try and get Westbrook into a little bit of foul trouble. Try and get Gafford into a little bit of foul trouble down low. And that's going to open up things a lot more because Daniel Gafford caused the Sixers some trouble. I mean, really, him defensively and Robin Lopez offensively caused the Sixers a bit of trouble down low without Joel Embiid. So if you can push the ball, if you can get their bigs into foul trouble, that's a recipe for success.
Yeah, we saw the shooting start off pretty cold there for the Sixers as well. Danny Green missing a wide open three, and back the other way came the Wizards. But there have been a few players I think that have risen to the occasion over the course of this series. And one man that I wanted to talk to you, I know is a dearly beloved player of yours is Tyrese Maxey, because a lot of people have been pushing for the Shake Milton situation, whether he loses minutes or not. We saw a massive exposure of minutes for Tyrese Maxey. I think he played over 20 minutes like the last game. Played really well in them, and he's played very well so far. Is this a sort of game where you'd see him maybe getting that kind of nod over Shake Milton off the bench, taking on a more prominent role?
I'd say 100%. You know, when you're really talking about, like I said, playing more of a pace offense, Maxey's your spark plug. Shake Milton's typically a little bit better of a half-court player just because of his jump shot, though Maxey's really coming into his own as far as the jump shot's concerned. But Maxey's just a ball of energy. I mean, if I am Doc Rivers, he is without question, he is my my primary point guard off the bench. And a lot of that, too, is George Hill being able to really seamlessly work in whatever offense he's in. If he's running, he can run. If you're in the half court, he works there. He works offensively and defensively. But when you talk about your guy bringing the ball up the court, ball in his hands, I want that to be Tyrese Maxey, because I want to push the ball. And I think Maxey's going to be the key off the bench to do that.
Yeah, Seth Curry just hit a gorgeous throw. I don't know if I'm ahead of you. I know we typically have this issue normally, but Seth Curry.
Yeah, you are, and I have that ability to use that other. Well, you know what we're talking about.
Oh yeah. I agree. Definitely legal. Everything's fine.
I just can't remember how to accomplish that. So I'm with the NBC Sports stream as of right now, and it's 11-12 Washington. So I just got that Seth Curry 3. It looks like actually.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, if you get your VPN on, I'm sure I can give you the logins to my betting app, which is how we do it in England, because it's never on national TV, so you have to watch it through a betting app, which is always good for losing money. Yeah, so far, I know it's obviously very early in the game, but it's looking closely contested. So I was kind of half expecting Dwight Howard to get started. Not obviously they've gone a little bit smaller, it looks like, just to kick things off. Yeah. There are a few players, I think, that could be crucial tonight. Someone like Furkan Korkmaz, I think, deeper into the game, who's been a little bit streaky. I think, well, that kind of defined his career, but could be a nice little spark plug to put in, especially if Danny Green is a little bit off, which is something we've seen here just to start the game. Someone who's looked good just off the opening few minutes, Matisse Thybulle, which surprised to nobody, absolute stallion on the defensive end. Big time turnover, which led to a huge Ben Simmons breakaway on an alley-oop there. So early first break in the game, it's a 16-13 lead to Washington. But Sixers, they're hanging around. They don't need to go out and win this by a million miles, get the job done. If they can win it without Joel Embiid, that's the big thing. Like, if they can seal this, the last thing they want to do is they know the Wizards will be sniffing blood in the water. It's an opportunity. They're 3-1 down now. There is life. It's not dead yet. Now they're without Embiid. They know the Wizards are going to try every trick in the book to get this over the line and make it 3-2, then go back to Washington. The Sixers can't afford to do that. Like, they need to get this out and just allow Joel Embiid a little bit of time to rest and find his feet again.
Yeah, and I think going back to that Ben Simmons dunk that you mentioned, part of it's plays like that, just demoralizing for the Washington Wizards and, get them uncomfortable, really put them in a place where they're on their heels. And going back to that again, as I mentioned, with the pace especially. But, the Sixers really have an opportunity here. It's just about embracing it and making sure that you take what's given to you. And other than that, just make sure that you are not forcing the issue. There's a difference between playing with energy and playing with pace and forcing it. So it's a tight balance, but it's one that I'm sure Doc Rivers will be able to find with these guys tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, I know there's 12 of you watching right now. If you are in the live chat, give us a hello. Let us know where you're watching from, what your predictions are for this game. Don't forget to leave a like on the stream as well. Apologies if my voice is a bit bad. I think I've got hay fever again. I took a tablet, so my eyes don't look like golf balls. But I do sound a little bit, what should we say, a bit more manly, which is rare for me. So, we're really cracking out the big guns here today. But yeah, another guy I'm kind of watching as well is just Rui Hachimura. I think he's been a really exciting young player in the league to watch anyway. Had a very big game, kind of obviously, now without the physical presence of Joel Embiid inside. I think we could see another slight breakout from him. Lucas Ashdown says hello. It's going well, Lucas. I hope all is well with you. Let us know, how are you doing tonight, gents? So far, first break in the game, 16-13 down. Any early observations that we've missed so far?
Yeah, really so far they've been able to play with pace offensively. It's a matter of defensively, I think, really just slowing down Washington, getting in front of them. One thing they've done is put Matisse Thybulle on Bradley Beal early. Of course, you're now with Joel Embiid out, your second best defender on Beal, and that's great. Why aren't they putting Ben Simmons on him? Well, he picked up 4 very quick fouls in the last game. So it's kind of a long play. It's kind of a dangerous move, but you have to make sure that you are supporting Thybulle, because really you should be looking to double Beal on the perimeter as you can. And really it's about making sure that you keep the post as solid as possible, the rim as protected as possible, because we saw earlier Thybulle got caught reaching, and not in terms of a foul, that is, but Beal got right by him, and he blew right into the paint for an easy layup. So that's something that you really can't let happen if you're going to keep Bradley Beal contained.
Yeah, absolutely. Isaac says he's watching from his house, which is always good. Where so it's a great start. Really, first time watching basketball in general, so hoping the Sixers win. So you could have picked a better game, really. Nice of you to hop on board and hopefully get some nice playoff action. Rick's watching from Iowa, so we like that, and hopefully the Sixers will start shooting like they've got a Hawkeye, if you pardon the pun. See, we're rolling. We're here today. Oh, what was that? I just missed. I think that was a Tobias. Nice bucket there. He's been red hot this series as well. I mean, I know he's had a great year anyway, like under Doc, and I know all of you guys saw that coming at a million miles away in terms of Doc being able to get that back out of him. But especially towards the run-in to that season, he really kind of came into his own.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of the disappointment of the last game, is that he really, and it's understandable, okay, because with Ben Simmons and his foul trouble, Joel Embiid getting hurt, of course, they're just going to throw everything right at Tobias Harris thereafter. But the Sixers need him to perform, the way that they're paying him to be flat honest about it. And other than Game 4, he has so far. Hopefully he can continue to do so from here on out. Yeah.
Definitely so. And Matisse, again, making his impact. A nice dunk there. Do you know what's bad? It's like every dunk I see now, I'm just, I want that on NBA Top Shot. Oh, I'd have that on NBA Top Shot. It's getting bad, but Matisse making his impact clearly felt. Rui's at the line at the moment, who knocks down a free throw, which is something we haven't seen from Ben in a little while. Hopefully that changes tonight, though.
Okay. Reel it back. Where do you start? Rui Hachimura is an interesting player. I tend to think of him and the Charlotte Hornets, PJ Washington, in a sort of similar sense where they're young, athletic power forwards, and if they round out their game, they could. I think they have the potential to be 2 incredibly high level power forwards. Yeah. They have the athleticism, they have the potential for the outside shot. I actually just showed a graphic, and Hachimura is shooting 66.7% from 3 during this series. He's never been close to that kind of shooter. But if you can get him at 36% over a season, I really think that he can be a guy who gives you a super valuable. I think his high is probably about 18 and 8 with maybe 3.5 assists. So, we're talking about near Tobias Harris numbers, and I think he's a better defender than Tobias Harris. PJ Washington, conversely, much better offensive player, not as well-rounded as Rui Hachimura. But those two, just from a basketball fan perspective, those are 2 young power forwards in the league that, it's power forward is one of my favorite positions. I'll call it one of my top 5 favorite positions, but still, it's one that I think is in good hands with young players like that in the future. So, even though he's taking down my team with his good level of play, Rui Hachimura is somebody who I'm watching with interest going forward.
Yeah, Robin Lopez there just checking into the game with his dodgy haircut. That's always good to see. Kemp
Bob.
comes into the chat and says, bloody slam Dairy Dunkers up the boys. Do you guys have Dairy Dunkers in America? Or I know you have Lunchables.
I'm sorry, what?
So a Dunker is like a breadstick with a cheese dip in a little packet?
I've seen this, and I kind of vaguely remember something from. So what we used to have, I remember we had we had crackers, and you would open up the pack of crackers, and you had like a red stick, and you would stick it in like cheese, and then you would spread the cheese on the crackers.
Okay.
So we had that, and I think we had something similar to that. But while you can still find, say, Lunchables, a treat from my childhood, I haven't seen anything like that in quite a while.
You're missing out. I'll smuggle some over when I come to America.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah, it's the second time out.
A little slow at the gate so far.
What was that, sorry?
Tobias Harris, I'm saying, a little slow out the gate so far, and defensively just caught lacking a couple of times. So that's something that really they need. They need him to perform better. That's really it, and it's up to the rest of the team to put him in a place to succeed. Of course, It's not 100% on Harris, but Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris as your two biggest stars remaining. That's who you're looking for in this series. So it really is up to them to win this game.
Yeah, I'm hoping I didn't see things, but I'm pretty sure I saw Mike Scott warming up a little bit or hopping onto the court for a stage.
I sure as hell hope not, because I'm sick and tired of watching him. I'll be honest with you. I cannot wait for the offseason. Mike Scott Hive, come at me. Look, I love the dude as a guy, but he just can't. He's not doing it. I put Furkan Korkmaz in as some kind of weird string bean stretch four, whatever. I don't care. What's Mike Scott doing? He's not doing anything for you offensively. He was in 17 minutes the other night, didn't score a single point. He's not doing anything defensively for you. You know that. So what's the point of him even being in? Your only argument to put him in over Paul Reed is that, he's more experienced. He might not turn the ball over. Okay, sure, maybe. But you can't tell me that you couldn't play Paul Reed 17 minutes and he'd get you at least 8 and 4 rebounds. Come on.
I think that was almost a Portland level, right? I didn't mean to trigger you there, Zach, just by mentioning Mike Scott.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's one of those things. It's kind of like Gabe Kapler putting in David Hale. Gabe Kapler. Oh my gosh. It's like Joe Girardi, who many have compared to Gabe Kapler with the way he's managed the season, putting in David Hale.
Gotcha.
So it just doesn't make any sense. Why go and do it? And again, like I said, I understand you don't have that many veterans on the bench. At this point, I have more confidence in Anthony Tolliver than I do Mike Scott.
Wow. Mic drop. Just looking through the performances so far, we briefly mentioned Gafford after he had his win with the Sixers not too long ago. He's already got out to 2 boards, a block, a steal, and 4 points to his name. So he's already kind of picking up where he left off.
I like Gafford. I liked him in Chicago. I liked him coming out of the draft. I saw a lot of JaVale McGee in him, without the Shaqtin' a Fool. Not to say that he's the perfect basketball player, that he's, the smartest basketball player, but, I really do feel like he's JaVale McGee with his head screwed on straight, So he's somebody who is going to be a player for Washington. I think he'll be their starting center long term going forward. And he's already shown activity tonight, with his ability scoring and of course playing defense at the rim. He interrupts. He disrupts the offensive flow. So that's part of the reason why you need players to be physical down low to try and get him into some kind of foul trouble, because I have much more faith in our offense against, say, Robin Lopez or Alex Len defensively than I do necessarily against Daniel Gafford.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. So, as things stand, it's a 6-point lead. Oh, sorry, 5 points. I can't do math tonight. There we go. For Washington, 24-19 at the moment. Now we're getting our first real look at that second unit. So no all-bench unit, as controversially has been called just yet, so it's still fairly regular in terms of rotation. Missed 3 by Washington. So it now looks at the moment we've got Simmons, Harris, Curry, Howard. I'm trying to see the fifth player who's over there.
Looks like George Hill.
Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah. And, when you talk about the all-bench lineup, it's going to be tough to do, to kind of do anything else. Like, I feel like we're going to see it at some point because Seth Curry's not the kind of player that you play, with the bench. Danny Green, maybe you could, but really when you talk about staggering starters, the 3 players who you can potentially do that with are Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. Yeah. No Joel Embiid tonight, obviously. Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons, things get a little tricky. I think you can do a lineup with Simmons without Harris, but I would be hesitant to do one with Harris and without Simmons, just because it gets really difficult for Harris, as we mentioned earlier, to really work his game without having Simmons on the court. And that's, okay, they did call a foul on that. Good. That's not to say that, Harris is usually more of a half-court player. So you ask, why does it make sense to play him with Ben Simmons, who is not much of a half-court threat? Well, what it comes down to is, Harris is a half-court player, but you can get him quick transition buckets with Ben Simmons. And on top of that, I think that Simmons does well working down low in the post and then kicking back out to Harris. And when you put Harris kind of behind the line and Simmons in the dunker spot and Harris is able to kind of work the ball in the mid-range, I think that gives you much better spacing than, say, the alternative, which would be Dwight Howard, where there's really no option to get any offensive spacing anywhere else.
Yeah.
So unless you're going to play Tobias Harris at center,
Oh, who was that? I'm assuming that was Bradley Beal, yeah. I'm going to need to get you to log into this app in a minute, aren't I? Just make sure you're all cool. We'll do it at halftime or something.
Yeah. Hit me up at the end of the first quarter and, I'll throw the VPN up and we'll get it taken care of.
Ooh, it's nice to see Maxey's got some minutes. Oh, go on.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm behind and I just saw that George Hill overthrow and it's, that could have been something special.
I mean, the premise was there. Like, he tried it, just a little bit too much twaz on it.
Yeah, it is it's tough without Embiid. I'll be honest. He is a transcendent player. You watch the difference. This team was dead, Washington, when Joel Embiid was in this lineup. And they're getting a little hot tonight. It's on my score. It's 27-20, and it's defensively that you're seeing a lot of the struggles. And you have Ben who can work the perimeter, but they can't put him on Beal because they're afraid of him picking up too many fouls. As Dwight Howard just has a monster block. Really you're struggling to defend because you don't have your best perimeter defender because you don't want Simmons picking up fouls, and you don't have your best post defender because you don't want Joel Embiid to try and force himself on a slightly torn meniscus. So we'll see how many games he's out. If and hopefully when Philly is able to win this series, it's probably going to extend at least a couple games into the Atlanta Hawks series because I don't see him coming out for game 1.
I'll tell you what, Tyrese almost had a hell of a play. I'm assuming he's going to the line for that. Yeah, okay. Jeez, yeah.
Good. He doesn't go to the line nearly enough. And it's not because it's not anything that he's doing himself. It's just, as a rookie, it's hard to, unless you're a LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards level rookie. Oh, I saw what you're talking about. It's hard to really get a lot of those calls.
Yeah.
Whether you're Maxey or whomever, Kira Lewis, whatever the case may be, it's tough unless you're one of those notable rookies.
Yeah, it's just you're just not gonna. Yeah, teams just aren't gonna waste the foul pretty much on it. It's just not worth kind of the risk, or they won't demand the attention in the first place. But that's why I think Tyrese is really gonna kind of make his mark. He should be able to take advantage of that because we know how dangerous he can be around the rim. So if he can kind of get in that open lane, maybe make something happen, especially if there is a lot more focus on the perimeter stuff without Embiid, and they go on the small ball lineups, and he may end up. Is that George Hill again? Yeah. Oh dear. Not having his greatest night. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, hang on.
Hmm?
That Maxey play looked like tendon. I'm gonna get that wrong. I don't know. It looked like the net was lifted up. Oh, go on, Tyrese. Oh, he's gonna get one of these. Oh my god. I forgot how physical Washington get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially with Robin Lopez in the game.
Yeah, they're on a mission. So now Dwight's to the line after what looked like a bit of a battle royale. We can't move away from that.
Yeah, we're seeing Korkmaz early in the game, like you were talking about earlier. Really, just looking to get that offense. Yeah, you're right. That is goaltending.
So what I'll do now is I'll quickly ping you my information for the app.
Yeah, that works. But yeah, it's tough because you want to put in guys like Korkmaz for their offense, but still having trouble defending.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the theme for the night already, isn't it? I mean, we know the Wizards like to run tempo anyway. That tempo gets a lot quicker when you don't have arguably the most dominant big man of a generation just, stopping you. So it's going to be tough. Like, this very much has to be the game where the Sixers keep up. And right now, they're struggling, I think, a little bit. Like, Washington are just matching them stride for stride. And it's finding the right combination.
And then some, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Washington, I'll be honest, has... they've been impressive coming out, especially offensively, but they've done a better job protecting the paint, and it's really up to Philadelphia to force that issue down low and really attempt to make this game their own.
I tell you what, like, you can't fault Maxey's aggressiveness. Like, in a game this, like, he's being aggressive. He's trying to take advantage of the opportunities that are there. Like, he just hit a long three. It was contested. It wasn't ideal. He's tried to hit. It didn't go in. But you can just see, like, he's knocking on the door of what could easily be a 5, 6, 7 point run for him there if he just had.
Yeah.
I think Shake's in the game now. Yeah, so Matisse is off. So it's a 29-27 game. Sixers have been able to pull this one back right at the end of the first period. I'm playing hockey quarter. Oh, Tyrese with a lovely alley-oop there to Dwight Howard. We love that. That was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Dan will get the
crowd
Howard,
going. As frustrating as he is, Howard has been huge for Philadelphia. So that's someone who you're going to have to lean on for situations just like that. You're going to be getting Tyrese Maxey in the open floor. You're going to be getting Tyrese Maxey in opportunities in the pick and roll where, you can really... Sorry, my VPN expired apparently. Where can, really let him thrive. No worries, I'll be able to figure something out. Where you can really let him thrive and work as a facilitator too, not just a scorer.
Yeah, he's just knocked down a three then and started nodding. He's feeling it. I think this is going to be a game he cooks. I mean, I wouldn't say it was a bold prediction before, but I think getting minutes over Shake Milton would be the wise decision. He had a good game last time out. I think he started off with the right... He's setting the tone for a Sixers team that has otherwise been, I think, very focused on the perimeter, trying to keep the ball almost away from the interior. They don't want that physicality. They don't want almost to smoke the Washington and trying to lure them into that they've seen in the past few games. And Maxey, from what I've seen, is the only one that's really kind of giving it to him and getting hungry and showing like he wants to fight. He wants that scrap. And I like that. I like that dog in him. It's fun to watch. Yeah,
no, absolutely. I mean, he's really kind of blown everybody away. And I'll tell you, Sean Bernard was really on him from the get-go.
Yeah.
Pre-draft, when it was not even a thought that he would have been available at 21. Just really got to give him some credit because Maxey has been as advertised and then some. So just an absolute major get for Philadelphia.
Yeah, Lucas Ashdown says, just focus it on Maxey and that's the way to win. I hope so. We can get the minutes. I mean, he's been the one.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about the bench, then that's
Yeah.
exactly it. That he should be your sixth man. George Hill, I feel like normally could fill that role. When you have Joel Embiid. However, right now, what you need is that energy, and if you're going to play him 20 plus minutes a night, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, given everything that's going on.
Yeah, definitely. So the end of the first quarter then, and it's a little bit of a tight affair as we kind of expected. As much as I think being in front of the home fans, as much as that momentum was great, losing Embiid, you're not expected to go run away with this one by 10 points straight away. So 29-29 is the tie at the end of the first quarter, guys. Love to know your thoughts. If you're just stopping by the stream, it would be amazing if you could stick around, hit that subscribe button. If you like what you're listening to or /watching, definitely leave a like. Let's see if we can get this total shooting upwards. And yeah, you've got all of our social media info on that right-hand side of the screen. So 1 down, 3 to go. Sixers still with a lot of work to do, clearly, but I mean, that's the other thing. Have you noticed, do you think, then, that there has been a bit of a home court advantage? I know it coincided very nicely with the playoff run in terms of getting fans back in the stands to a bit bigger capacity. Has the team played better? Has there been instances where that intensity has paid off? Or is it not almost a facade, but they've got so used to doing without it that it doesn't really matter at this point?
I mean, do you mean in general, or do you mean tonight so far?
We'll go with both.
Yeah, I mean, so in general, the home field advantage is definitely a real thing, especially in the NBA.
Yeah.
And it's not just teams like Denver, where literally the atmosphere is different, but teams like Philadelphia, home field advantage is absolutely a real thing. I don't know that they're feeling it yet, and part of that is I don't know how much the crowd is feeling it. I will reach out to our man on the inside, Ricky Amandeo, and really see what he thinks the vibe is with the fan base there, as he is at the game right now. However, I'm not too sure with Embiid's injury. I mean, that hit a lot of people, so I don't know. The fans, I think, have to do a little bit more too, who are at the game to kind of pump it up for Ben Simmons and company.
Yeah, so we're just starting off the second quarter. Have you got your VPN on, or are you still...
I'm working it out. I'll get it over here. Don't worry.
Alright, okay. So hopefully, you won't miss too much action.
I'll figure it out.
Let's see. So Robin Lopez trying to cause trouble. And it's knocked in. Is that... Oh, it's not... Okay, cool. That didn't count. Love that. That was Gil being a little bit too aggressive, I think.
Yeah, as he does. Gil's one of those... Gil's a nice, scrappy player. He's somebody that every team needs. Kind of... in the way that Elijah Johnson has been for the Pacers and now the Nets, where you just need that energy. We had T.J. McConnell, who's a different kind of energy, but all the same, still a huge benefit to the Sixers when he was with us. So it is easy, though, however, for guys like that to kind of get over anxious in the moment and a little too excited. Yeah,
bit of a cool start to both teams here. So Maxey missed a 2, and then Washington couldn't convert on the other end, and now Shake Milton brings it inside, unable to drop his first of the evening, so scoreless through the opening minute or so, which I just think the pace these teams are moving at, like they don't really have time to settle into a nice pick and roll and to make things work. It's just kind of, it's almost like watching a game of 2K. It's just run down, get the ball in as quick as possible, sprint back, and hope you don't get caught off on transition, which almost sounds knowledgeable for me, so I don't know how well that's going down, but...
Yeah,
so Tyrese carries it down, and Shea can't get that one either. Did he go to the line for that, maybe? Oh, he's got the Steph Curry mouthguard thing going on. That's new. Didn't know he did that. Yeah, so Shea to the line. I wonder if Steph being in the stands is going to help Seth.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to have that kind of relationship where there's no bad blood between the two of them. Now, I mean, if they're playing each other, they're hyper competitive. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, they really seems like a good close knit family. So, if anything, if it's going to impact him one way or another, I would expect it only to impact him positively. So that won't be too bad. I mean, now, yeah, really wonder also. It's got to be interesting. I've been wondering this for a while. It's got to be interesting to have your father-in-law as your head coach.
Yeah.
Obviously, a little weird for Austin Rivers to play under his father, but I think it got to be a little weird for Seth Curry to play under him too, don't you think?
I mean, father-in-law's a bit different to obviously a father you've kind of grown up with, and you've probably already established that dynamic.
It's a very different story, absolutely.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. I'm having to equate that now. Would I, would my girlfriend's dad would I play under him as a coach? That'd be, yeah. I see why Seth Curry might be a little bit,
Yeah.
see how that goes.
All right, let's get.
Are you in?
I'm working on it. Let's go with that. We're getting there.
Isaac says, honestly feel like if anyone can fill the Embiid hole left in our hearts, then it's Tyrese Maxey. I agree. I do.
Isaac, you're 110% right. I mean, if there's anyone who's going to be able to get the excitement from the fan base, it's Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, Korkmaz is just, I don't know Korkmaz. And that is, never mind. But, well done. As we say, that big Tyrese rebound. Cork for three. Oh, no. It's a sloppy start. It's been a really sloppy start. Oh, Maxey's... I'm developing a player crush just in this game alone. Like, he is playing his heart out right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's just... I mean, he's insane. I mean, just the way that he can elevate a team offensively in the spirit of a team. I mean, that's a winning player. That's one that you'll really need to keep around for a long while. So a lot of people wondering about him potentially in, say, a Kyle Lowry sign and trade. And I mean, I'm looking for a way to add players and not move Tyrese Maxey myself, if that's at all possible.
Yeah. Isaac says also, am I the only one that thinks Shake Milton looks like Nelson Aguilar? No, I see it. I see it. I think it might just be that.
I like Shake. I like Shake just a little bit better.
Yeah. All right, 3-point game. Simmons back on the court. And it looks like it's been a 2 for which way? Oh, go on, Tyrese. Give it a go. Pull up. A nice assist. Oh, he's dealing. He's having himself a little game.
Hey, guess who's in?
Guess who's in?
I got the game up.
Oh, you're in. There you go.
I'm live with you. Fantastic. Yeah, I got 34-33 Wiizards, and looks like there was just a... Oh, look at that Korkmaz dunk there. It's a replay, though. Yeah, Russell Westbrook at the top of the key. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Just went down to Lopez down low? Cool. All right, so what have I missed with Mike Scott? How has he been? I see he's in the game. I'm already pissed off. How has he been in his minutes so far?
Invisible. But if I'm honest, I might have confused him for George Hill.
Actually.
I might have confused.
That is an improvement.
I think I confused him for George Hill the first time, just because tattoos. I think that's on me. Full disclosure. I'm only watching on a tiny screen. I can't really show it much because copyright issues. But
yeah, of course. Ooh,
that was nice.
Maxey with the nice
He's
move.
He's on one, man.
Give Tyrese Maxey a jump shot. I mean, we're talking. As I heard the comparison of Lou Williams.
Yeah.
I think Williams. I honestly think Lou Williams could be this kid's floor. I mean, I think that he has an ability to, because he's already. I think he's a better defender already than Lou Williams ever was. And a lot of that's just being around Matisse Thybulle, Ben Simmons, George Hill, Danny Green, who've all been huge for his defensive growth. But you could be talking about a two-way Lou Williams with Tyrese Maxey, and that's somebody who you got to be giving me something pretty good if I'm going to part with that.
Yeah. I just remember the reaction when he was still available. And the way Sean lost his mind, I was like, okay, I'm sold on that one. I didn't even have to watch a minute of his play. Just the way Sean was holding it so early on was very, very good for me. So
I still can't believe Detroit passed on him.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, that's just Detroit, though, isn't it? For you, I mean, that's just adding fuel to your fire, really.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I mean, their draft has been fine. Killian Hayes is still an incomplete. If you're injured, you can't really get a fair grade. Isaiah Stewart has been. I'll say he's been better than I thought he was going to be. Is he blowing anyone away? No, but Detroit likes him long term at center, and all right, they're happy. Good for them. Sadiq Bey. I think Sadiq Bey is what I thought he was. Which is
Maxey.
a good player. I know that Maxey tried.
Jeez, oh my god, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Maxey has to be the sixth man if Joel Embiid's out.
Yeah.
I think that you get a little bit in the half court game with, and I know Maxey's been thriving in the half court game, but with George Hill that you don't get with Maxey when you have Embiid in there. But otherwise, just let the kid run wild. I mean, really, what's the alternative? Ooh.
Oh, that was bricked.
Okay. Oh, that was not good, Mike Scott.
Are we shocked? Quick shout to 46 Gang as well. He says, "What up, though? What's up, man? Hope you're doing well and enjoying the game."
What to do, baby?
Oh, what was that? Jesus Christ! That was a hockey puck that just fell off of my desk. Oh, I just lost like a year of my life worrying about that.
I was wondering what that was.
That was was that loud or was that me? That sounded loud.
It might have been louder for you than it was for us, but I could definitely hear it. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, that wasn't great. Let's not do that again. Just waking you all up, for anyone in England, we know it's 1 a.m. Just giving you all a nice little wake up call.
Yeah.
So Max is getting some big minutes as well now. You can see the starter slowly rotate into the rim, and that's unlucky not to go.
Yeah, I mean that's what you got to do. I mean that's exactly what he should be doing. And he's already the second leading scorer on the team. He's tied for third in minutes with 8 minutes played so far. And
Jeez,
how's that not a foul?
That's emotional.
Maxey had an and one that went uncalled, and that's just unbelievable. But I mean, good on him for making that basket. That was impressive.
Yeah, this is gonna be I think this is gonna be the Tyrese coming of age game. I feel.
Yeah, I mean, we could be looking at 25. 25. I think we might get 25 from Maxey in this game.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, you can't take him out. I mean, you really just can't. And it's great to see him and Ben Simmons playing so well together. Also, you want to be able to see Maxey succeed with the stars in Philadelphia. You want to see him do well against or alongside rather Joel Embiid, do well alongside Tobias Harris, and of course Ben Simmons. And you don't naturally think about Ben Simmons and Tyrese Maxey because your initial critique of both of them is the jump shot, but really so far so good with Ben Simmons and Tyrese Maxey in the same lineup. So maybe that's something that we see a little more of in the future also.
Yeah, so right now we're down 1 point to the Wizards, so it's obviously come down a little bit. They tied at the end of the first quarter, they're now only 1 point down. It's been a very back and forth, fast-paced matchup, as we all came to expect, without Embiid around 6 minutes or so left in the second quarter. And then it's still going to start getting interesting towards that second half. I mean, right now, I think, to be fair, that the second unit looks a lot better than the first unit.
Yeah, I mean, Seth Curry's been sneakily good offensively. It's been a little bit of a struggle for Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris to really get anything going. So you hope at least come the second half they can get that going a little bit more. But the other thing really is it's just the defense. I mean, they've done better this quarter, to be fair. Holding the Wizards to 11 points is certainly an improvement upon where they were in the first, where they gave up nearly 30. But it's still there's a long way to go defensively. So we'll see what Philadelphia can cook up in that regard.
Yeah, definitely. So let us know how you're doing tonight, guys. Great to see you all hanging out with us. So if you're just joining, you got myself, Liam Jenkins, you got Zach Chauvalella, calling all of the shots, quite literally, for tonight's Sixers game. Hopefully it will be the series finale and we can advance to the second round. I mean, overall, what have you made of the NBA playoffs so far? Because there have been some... I don't know, I've been keeping an eye on Phoenix and that LA series. Like, that's been on super late when I've just been, getting into bed. That's been fun to watch change dynamic-wise. The Boston showing a minor fight against Brooklyn now has been kind of fun to watch. Dallas has been a good series to keep an eye on. Like, where are you at with this? Has there been a team that surprised you so far?
I'm trying. I'm trying to behave. With what happened in the Portland Trailblazers season finale last night, I am trying so hard not to cook up Damian Lillard trade scenarios.
Is that because he went off for like 1 million points and just did the Dame thing?
Look, man, all right. So I was literally I waking up early for work the next morning, trying to be in bed, couldn't watch the whole game. And yet there I am, on my phone, huddled up so my wife doesn't get woken up by the light, just watching the game and just the unbelievable shot after shot by Damian Lillard, forcing really single-handedly. Robert Covington, did his thing, of course, but really it was Damian Lillard who lifted that team to 2 overtimes, and they still let him down. And there's a lot of question marks in Portland that we really were able to notice thanks to this series. And it's not the first time. Scott Brooks probably gonna get Scott Brooks. Thinking the Wizards still. Oh man. Well, Terry Stotts. There it is. Terry Stotts. I know you're coming to me eventually. Terry Stotts is he's gone. I don't see any situation where he comes back to the team. They're going to be undergoing some roster transformation. I wish that involved sending Damian Lillard to the Sixers. It will not, so let's not even really talk about it. But it's hard for me to not think about it with the way that ended. Yeah, and people drawing comparisons to LeBron James' last game in Cleveland. So
yeah,
my big takeaway has really been Denver's still good without Jamal Murray. Portland's disappointingly bad, and the Clippers, I don't know what to make of them. So it's been an enjoyable playoff series all around, but none's pulled my focus more so than this Sixers series.
Yeah, no, it's been an enthralling matchup, and I've been lucky enough to kind of catch a little bit, but more importantly, just get the insight. And I know I'm obviously biased because PSN is my little baby after all, but I'm sure you can agree, Zach is managing editor of the Sixers team, that the content that's been coming out has been next level. I think I've learned more about basketball in the past 2 weeks than I have in about a year.
Yeah, I mean, Sean and Jalen have been absolutely killing it in the way that they've been approaching this, and being around to. That was almost so nice.
I know.
But being around, to listen to Coach Doc Rivers, after the game, and some of the players, and really see, what's going on in their head after these games. They've done a great job just kind of talking about that, and I think that's given them a really good insight into the game itself, which is really shown forth in the articles that they're putting out in relation to it. Sean obviously had that piece. That predictive piece about Ben Simmons and his free throw shooting woes, and we've seen how quickly that's come to pass, and really just an impressive work of predictive writing in that case.
Yeah, Danny Green 3. He's been cold. That's a shame.
Yeah.
It's two really good looks he's had now over the past. Well, the first half.
Steal though.
Was it Maxey on the steal?
I got a slight blur going on the screen, but I think it was Maxey.
There we go, Seth.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, Seth. All right, so let's talk Kyle Lowry for a second, okay?
Okay.
Because this is what gets complicated. Is that the way that the Sixers can acquire Kyle Lowry is that it's going to be through a sign and trade. You're going to need contracts to match relatively close to what Lowry would sign for, which is estimated to be around $20 to $22 million a year. In order to accomplish that, you are giving up George Hill and Seth Curry to compensate on the contracts. Now, additionally, that's when you got to give up the value also. Is a first-round pick and Seth Curry and George Hill enough to get Kyle Lowry? I would sure as, I really would hope so, is what I'll say. Because that's a lot, though Kyle Lowry is still a good player. But you got to remember, it's a sign-and-trade situation. It's not as though you're just trading in the middle of the season. Lowry has the ability to walk to another team if he so chooses. So it's really about playing it smart and not giving up too much, because I almost would rather continue to build the depth.
Yeah.
Focus on your 3 stars, and a 4th star in Lowry would be great. But if you are doing that and you're losing your starting shooting guard, your 6th man, and then possibly one of your 3 young major prospects, assuming that they don't want the pick and they want a player instead, that's a lot, is all I'm going to say. So I may be more comfortable keeping Curry, keeping Hill, and looking to add somebody with the mid-level exception, which they failed to do this season. So we'll see what happens. But in any case, Tyrese Maxey's proving my point right now as far as wanting to keep that youth as he's getting ready to head to the line.
Yeah, no, it's been a great little, I think, just debut. Well, I say debut, sorry, day for Tyrese Maxey so far. But yeah, the Kyle Lowry situation is always weird. It's one of those where, because he's from the area, because there's the history there, where fans naturally want it, they'll bring him home. And it brings back that inflated price where it almost gets overlooked and ignored. And you see it a lot in the NFL with star players or whoever it may be, but especially when they're from the area or they've gone to a local school, that people will happily go overboard just to bring them over. And is it worth it at this point? Obviously, last point in the off-season, it was different where it was a year younger, the contract was a little bit different. Obviously now a year older, contract probably picking up again. You're running out of time, really. I think the longer they wait, the more, or the less value I'd like to think he has. But I could be wrong.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's kind of tough for me to envision Kyle Lowry going to Miami with how their season ended.
Yeah.
Lowry, I think, will want to go to Toronto, Philadelphia, or a winner. And that's not to say that Philadelphia and Toronto won't be competitive or won't be considered winners. That's just to say that it's those 2 teams in specific, and then say, I don't know, Dallas, for instance. If they come knocking, that's something that could be potentially of interest to Lowry, a chance to play with Luka. And that's, honestly, I think that might even be the best fit for him in Dallas. A place where they can rely on him defensively. He would be a great lead guard in front of Jalen Brunson. I mean, that Villanova attack would just be absolutely insane between those 2. So he has options, essentially. And I get it. He's a local guy. That makes everybody want him to want him on the team. For me, it's not even the age. It's not even the contract. It's the price when we talk about what you're giving up.
Yeah. And
that's really what I am hesitant to give up, because I don't, maybe you could convince me to give up Shake Milton depending on what the deal was for. I don't want to give up Thibault. I don't want to give up Tyrese Maxey. And that's not to say, to go back to what next year's, basically who could be the James Harden of the next year. That's not to say that, for Damian Lillard, I'm not giving up Tyrese Maxey. Kind of like how Heat fans were about Tyler Herro and James Harden this year. It's not to say that. But what it's to say is, for a point guard as experienced, we'll say, as Kyle Lowry, who will need a contract the size of Kyle Lowry's, and to be flat honest, because he's a free agent, I'm hesitant to give up that kind of capital. You want a first-round draft pick, that's fine. If it's a first, Curry and Hill, I think that's about as far as I want to go. But even then, I have my reservations, because you're giving up a lot of depth at that point.
Well, I was going to say, does it not massively complicate things where you've got Tobias' contract, you've got Ben's, you've got Embiid's? Does it not really financially restrict what they'll be able to do for the next 3, 4, 5 years?
I mean, so they would be subject, which they kind of already are, to the taxpayer mid-level exception. So there's two
Yeah.
types of. So basically, you can sign players up as long as you have cap space, and then you continue to sign players thereafter. You have that ability. You can sign them to minimum contracts, where that you can again continue to exceed the cap. There's bird rights, where if a player's been with a team and hasn't left via free agency, rather I should say. If he is not signed with a new team in free agency, I should specifically say, within a period of 4 years, then there are all different types of bird rights that you can have, which mean, and that's referencing Larry Bird, where you can go above the cap to re-sign that player. And then there is the free agent exceptions. Is the mid-level exception, okay? And the mid-level exception, there's one for non-taxpayers and there's one for taxpayers. The Sixers, with the contracts on their team, they're paying luxury tax. That's really just about it. So if they are going to go with Lowry, or really either way, they're already getting that taxpayer mid-level exception, which is about 3 to 4 million less than the non-taxpayer exception. So it limits you in a sense, but if you're one seed good, then you're going to be getting guys who want to come to you and they're willing to play for the minimum, or they're willing to pay for the 5-ish million on the taxpayer exception. So it really shouldn't affect them that much. It's just a matter of, hey, is this group willing to go that deep into the luxury tax?
Yeah, that's a really good explanation. Thank you for that. It cleared things up for me. Hackerben starting already? Is that a thing? Is that on? Are we back there?
Yeah, I mean, probably. It's not. It wouldn't be surprising. And who was that scrub? Oh, Matthews.
Who was that scrub?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and you can even tell by the players. Yeah, it's clearly Hackerben because, I mean, well, first off, how quick it happened.
Yeah.
And who fouled him? It's not Bradley Beal running over to foul him. It's Garrison Matthews and yeah, it's as he splashes it right in Scott Brooks' soon-to-be fired face.
Go on, a magic goal. One more, just a goal. One more.
Yeah, he's getting this one. I already know it. He's getting it.
Ooh, hey! There we go.
There it is. And there it is. Yeah. So, and that's the thing. If he starts hitting them early, that's going to dissuade him from going the Hackerben later in the game. So it's about hitting your free throws now, absolutely, for Ben Simmons.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially if you end up fouling out half your team. I mean, you can't just, gosh. Oh, yeah, that was good.
All right, so Bradley Beal pump faked two defenders. I think it was Harris and Thibault. Both bit, and both went right past him, and he had an open mid-range. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that really gets people. This town is so hungry for a Bradley Beal, and I think a lot of it still stems from regret from the Iverson era, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So that they really want that Bradley Beal type, that scoring, reckless abandon warrior, that 3-level attacker offensively, and really they just want offensive guard play. That's a clean block. I don't know what you're talking about. As they call it, a foul on Matisse Thybulle, I believe on Thybulle. So really, I think it's regret from that era. Nobody gives a crap about Charles Barkley, I feel like, so they don't really regret that too much. But it looks like it's Allen Iverson that people are really still kind of hung up on, and I get it. He meant so much to the city, and not that Iverson was the perfect player, but that 0-1 finals run, it feels like the one that got away. Obviously the Sixers got smoked by the Lakers, but you can make the argument that if the team did a better job of surrounding Iverson with talent, and I mean, really the argument too can be made if Iverson did a better job playing around talent, then we could be looking at a completely different situation. And since that's not how history worked out, now we're left here pining for the Bradley Beals of the world, for the Devin Bookers of the world, and They're top end offensive players, but I think it's just deeper than just wanting a bucket getter.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just that tenacity, isn't it? And someone that embodies that Philadelphia attitude.
Well, that's why I want Terry Rozier here, because Terry Rozier, that's a player where you don't have to give up too much to get him. Okay, he absolutely embodies all of that. He's a perfect fit with the Sixers team. I think he'd be a fan favorite. I mean, that's who I am looking at. Kyle Lowry, also kind of for the same reason, because he has that. Depending who you ask, it's either grit or it's him more so as a flopper. But a lot of people would say that Kyle Lowry does have some grit to him, that undersized guard mentality. So it's another reason that he's so popular, along with him being a local guy. But again, back to Rozier, I think that's someone that Sixers fans don't talk about nearly enough about a possible addition. Now, can you pry him away from Michael Jordan? Probably not. But if there's a way, I think that's an underrated target for Philadelphia to kind of solve that need without having to give up Simmons, without having to give up Tobias Harris. Of course, you're not giving up Embiid. And I think you don't have to give up Simmons or Maxey, Milton, or Thibault either. So really kind of the perfect target, as it were.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Ben clearly getting a little bit agitated now with, I mean, what... I don't know if that was.
He got cleanly hit right in the face.
Yeah.
And there was no call. Right there's.
I was gonna say it didn't look intentional at first, and slowed down. It definitely looked a bit more. What's the word? Malicious, probably is what we're looking for there. But go on, knock on now.
Oh, when he got the call.
Come on, Ben. Ooh. Ah, okay, never mind. We're back.
No, you can't make them all.
No, that's true. Alright, so minutes ago in the second, 2-point Wizards lead. There's not much to separate these two at all. Yeah. Oh, that was good. Oh, unlucky. Oh, that was nice. Oh, that was poetry in motion.
Beautiful.
Yeah, is this the first time the Sixers have led all game?
Yeah, it might be.
I don't know about
it might just be. Oh, that's a charge. There's a charge. Oh, that's not good.
Who is it? Is it Tobias that's down? Oh, it's Danny. Okay.
Green. Probably just bonked knees. He'll probably be fine.
Oh god! Oh my god! Do you see how he landed on his ankle?
No! That's not a bonk.
Jesus Christ, man!
Oh, that's not great.
He seems to be up and all right somehow. Oh, how was it? Jeez.
Unbelievable. And that's a star call. That's star treatment. I honestly, if that were Rui Hachimura, he's getting called for a charge. But because it's Bradley Beal, he goes to the free throw line, and that's how the NBA operates. And it works in our favor more often than not with Joel Embiid, to be completely honest.
Of course. Oh, Embiid's like the biggest shithouse going. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, and he knows it. He's not ashamed about it either. It's you look at him, you look at James Harden. That's how the game's played. You play to win the game.
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of go, "Oh my god, no, these people flopping all the time." Like they don't know that actually hurt. They are just trying to get calls. It's the same way in soccer.
For me, it depends on how it is. There's this would get a lot of hate from a lot of anti-floppers, but there's a certain art to what James Harden does, what Joel Embiid does, and that's different than kind of what we see from, say, LeBron James or Marcus Smart. Where they're and I think what it comes down to, honestly, is the type of move. There's a move associated with what Harden and Embiid do to draw fouls. So there's intent where that's not necessarily the case for, say, when LeBron James is rolling on the floor for however long. And I get it. Look, you got poke in the eye, and that sucks. That's not ever a fun thing, for anybody.
Oh, Danny Green.
Green.
Go on. Oh, well in.
Clearly feeling better, Danny Green.
I thought we got one again then.
And with Marcus Smart, it's all
What happened there?
ooh.
Was that Westbrook
Yeah,
just
Ben
pulling a?
Ben ran right through him. I mean, I don't think Ben has a case against that one. Actually, I think that was the right call. It's all about how you present it, and if you present it as like, no, I'm flopping. I know what I'm doing. I'm trying to draw a foul. Then I think fans are typically more accepting as that as opposed to, you flop and you're like, oh no, what are you talking about? He bodied me. It's all situational.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, to be fair, I know Westbrook catches a lot of heat, but I don't know the hate around Westbrook. I understand. I guess a couple of the criticisms, but he just doesn't look like he's slowing down at all.
I think that's it. I can understand the criticism. It's the hate that I don't necessarily get. You have to question. How much does he really? Oof. Oh, there it is. What?
Oh,
they call that offensive? Is Doc Rivers going to challenge anything in this series? I don't think he's challenged once.
I don't get what about that was an offensive. What?
They're calling the hand grab on the back of the jersey. They're saying that he pulled around. I mean, I vehemently disagree, though. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
Yeah, I can already see Twitter going a little not too happy. Oh boy, yeah. So anyway, these refs, yeah.
Yeah, 25 seconds, Sixers 1 point down after briefly taking the lead towards the end. Let's see if they can maybe do it again just to close things out. I think they want to try and run out the clock a little bit. Oh, go on, Seth. Give me a 3. Give me a 3. Oh, hello. Oh!
Oh!
Was that Danny Green? At the right? Oh,
yeah,
oh my
that's
God.
Did
he draw a foul there or no? Did he? Tell me they call that. Go on.
Oh, wait. There's the makeup. There's the makeup.
There you go. Yeah, they had to give him that, though, I think. After, what we saw with Seth before.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. Well, okay,
and
it's a clear flop.
It's a clear push-off from Westbrook.
Yeah.
Westbrook initiated the contact twice.
Jeez, one last chance then to kind of send this lead up right before the closing seconds of the half. Go on. Tobias. Oh, unlucky.
That's a shame. But still, you kept it out of their hand. Out of their hands. So, it's not a bad way to close the half.
No, not at all. So they go down 2 points in front, which I think a lot of people at the start of this game, if you'd have said, the Sixers beat the Wizards without Embiid over 7, it's going to be a push to come out in this situation, knowing the way the last game went, knowing the Wizards were able to claw one back. They were coming in, knowing the Sixers without their best player. They wanted all the smoke. The Sixers stayed disciplined. I think they've played their game. That second unit has looked ferocious. That was clearly where they made up a bulk of the momentum back. There was a fairly large, maybe 6 or 8 point swing, I think, earlier on. Lucas says Wizards are shook. I mean, the Sixers definitely go into that half, I think, the more comfortable of the two teams, despite that looking like a very close game. I think all momentum was with the home team.
Yeah, easily. And, I think really they kind of went in on their own note. It's something that, I think you got to be feeling good if you're Philadelphia. Going back to that, between the defense and, the way that you're hitting threes at a nice percentage, why not? And Danny Green, his frustrations earlier, but really just doing a great job of closing out the quarter, playing some brilliant basketball. So Sixers should feel great going into the second half.
Yeah, no doubt about that. What are you guys feeling in the chat? Do let us know if you're watching along with us. It's great to see you all hanging out this evening on this level. Is it a Thursday? Wednesday.
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
There we go. I lost track of time.
I had to think
10 likes
about it
well on the
for a
video
second
so
there,
far.
but Yep, it is Wednesday.
So that is sick. Thank you so much for all the support on that one. We want to hear, what you're feeling about tonight's game. Isaac said the refs want his to go. The refs want this to go to Game 6 so bad. I'm assuming is what I meant there.
Yeah, I mean, there's not as many individual egregious plays, but the way that half ended is certainly suspect. But at least they came back with the makeup call in Philadelphia's favor.
Yeah, they even. I know it's dodgy to even do that, like the whole makeup call thing, but like, is it a thing in the NBA? Like, does it happen quite regularly?
It's 100% a thing.
Yeah.
It is absolutely a thing in the NBA. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It is completely a thing.
Hate to see it. What's up, Apex? Hope you're doing well, man. Thank you for dropping into the stream and saying hello. We're just getting ready for the second half. And see, now you're seeing, Zach, right, what I get to see on my streams, no commercials. We just get the Stixers. Who are drumming away. Do you want some live audio for the... I don't know if this is going to work. Probably not.
What a shot.
There we go.
Plus, that would cause the copyright issues.
Kill that. Do you know they were doing this when there were no fans in the arena?
Oh, I'm sure they were.
Yeah. Like, none at all. Just jumping around, having a whale of a time. You got to commend them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you got to, I mean, really, like, to be able to perform in front of no one is honestly, I think it could be more difficult than a full stadium.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Just because you can get too relaxed or panicky because you're there's no noise to hide a mistake, too, is the other thing,
Yeah. No, it's nice to see the Wells Fargo packed again. And yeah, we got our writer down there, Ricky. He'll be in attendance, giving it large, I'm sure, throwing popcorn at people. And having his way like the violent little man.
He actually texted me he's at the snack stand as we speak.
Is he actually?
No.
Oh, I was hoping he would have been.
I am about to reach out to him just to check on how everything's going at the game itself, though.
Bless him. Yeah, what's up, Apex? Yeah, nice to see you back in, man. Glad you're alive. That's always a positive sign. And yeah, wait on for this the second half to start. So as things stand, 65-63. Not a bad start for the Sixers. What are the keys to the second half, do you think, from now on?
Yeah, really the key is keep Maxey involved. He's been such a huge part of everything that's been going on, and keep the ball moving. They've been doing a good job in tempo, keeping pace, but additionally, it's not just that, because you're not going to have a fast break every single time down the court. So when you're working in the half court, really keep that ball moving. All of the San Antonio Spurs, get it in and out of Simmons' hands, in and out of Harris's hands. Find Danny Green. Danny Green from the corner is just, he's just shut down, like, amazing. So keep going to Green in the corner, keep going to Curry up top. Work the pick and roll game, the JJ Redick game with Seth Curry up at the top, and like I said, just keep it moving. Whether it's in the fast break or just rotating the ball. As long as you keep it moving, I think that you're going to be fine in the second half. Yeah,
it's going to be an intriguing one for sure. Obviously, on the Wizards side of things, Russell Westbrook is looking like he's probably going to be well on his way to another triple-double. Goes into the half with 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and 14 points. So he's very much been the heartbeat of it, but. Again, Rui Hachimura with a big game. We know Bradley Beal has been doing some wizardry in there. How do you think the Sixers up to this point have been able to negate that loss of Embiid? Like, is this going better than expected?
I would say it is going better than expected. My expectation was that they were going to win the game and that they were going to be down at the half. That we would see a quality push in the late third, early fourth. Now, obviously, they're taking the lead into the half, and I think a lot of it really does come down to the approach of the team offensively, and what I mean by that is that they've pushed through. They obviously are struggling from three, but they're still not they're not afraid to take them. They've only hit 4 of their 3-pointers so far, going 4 for 14 from 3, but keep pushing. Don't let up. Shooters, the way you get out of your funk is you keep shooting. So it's something where you really want to make sure that Danny Green, Seth Curry just keep on shooting, stick to that principle. But it's been a relentless offense. I think that's really kind of helped them do that. And then it's also the turnover battle. That's been absolutely key. The Sixers only had 2 turnovers in the first half. The Wizards had 10. I have a feeling the Sixers are going to turn the ball over a little more than twice in the second half. So it's just about maximizing your opportunity each and every time down the court. So if they can continue to do something like that in a similar fashion, then I think you can overlook the issues like how Washington's out-rebounding them or how Washington's shooting a better percentage. Just because Philadelphia, they're getting more opportunities. And so if you're creating that opportunity, even if you're not delivering it as high as a percentage, you can still pull out this game. And so really just maximizing efficiency as much as you can should be the focus. Getting those percentages up, continuing to force turnovers while taking care of the ball yourself.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the stat that came up at one point that said the Sixers were 24 possessions in a row without turning the ball over, which is almost unheard of, I think, for this year. Like, we know they can be a little bit sloppy at times. It doesn't matter. I think it'll ever matter who the coaches, who the players are. The Sixers and turnovers just seemed intertwined, for all of time. But yeah, it's been a very nice, I think, surprise of all things to see the Sixers actually taking care of the ball, being a bit smarter. And again, it sounds silly, but especially when the offense is moving a bit quicker than normal, when they're trying to constantly push the pace and stay up tempo with Washington, it's easy to make a mistake. It's easier for a quick pass to hit you and you not expect it as much. And they're minimizing the mistakes. Like, they're keeping themselves, I think, nicely settled. They're not being riled up by Washington and some of the, I would say, scare hacker Ben tactics that were implemented in there towards the end of the first half. So it's just very much a case of picking up where they left off. But yeah, that second unit, I think getting Tyrese Maxey the ball is going to be definitely a big part of it for sure.
Yep, 100%. It's going to be a lot of it up to Maxey, a lot of it up to Ben, a lot of it up to Tobias, and I think those are really your 3 individual Sixers to look at, but at the same time, you just need Danny Green and Seth Curry to keep on shooting.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, so if you're not following us on Twitter, at Philadelphia SN is the place to do. You've got our Facebook page, which is /Philly Sports Network, and our Instagram, which is Philly Sports Network as well. Don't forget to drop a like if you haven't already. That'd be amazing. And yeah, just say hello in the comments. We're all here. We're all having a little chit chat about the Sixers. We want to know how you're feeling this evening, how you're feeling about this second half that is very shortly about to get underway. If you're after some of the other fixtures tonight in the NBA playoffs, you do have, of course, Dallas and the LA Clippers. They will tip off at, 8? No, hang on, 10 Eastern. That's American time, right? Yeah. There we go. And then there's one more game, isn't there, which is... It's Atlanta?
Knicks Hawks on right now, too.
Yeah, Atlanta, New York. How's that going, that game, out of interest?
Yeah, I mean, so I actually just got a notification from Bleacher Report not too long ago about things getting chippy. So I'm going to say physical. It's a close game. Hawks are up by 2 at the moment, but they were tied after 1. It looks like a defensive matchup going at it again. But Clint Capella has actually been playing pretty well with already 8 points and 7 rebounds, and he's only played 12 minutes. So that's something that's a little shocking, especially considering how defensive focused the Knicks are at center. Of course, they are without Mitchell Robinson, but Nerlens Noel is still there, So what I don't understand, though, is I don't understand a lot about Tom Thibodeau, I'll be honest. But what I don't understand is why Taj Gibson is starting in a playoff game for the Knicks. I get it. You like Nerlens Noel off the bench, for his energy, sure. But Taj Gibson, I don't even know that Taj Gibson should be playing in a playoff game, let alone starting. In 9 minutes, he has 2 rebounds, and that's it. So it's not really the most impressive debut. And when you talk about him defensively too, he's solid down low, but he's limited laterally, and so that's really, honestly, that's why Clint Capella is getting these opportunities. You're talking about a younger, much more athletic center who, again, obviously I'm not watching that game, I'm watching this game, but I'd be willing to bet money that Clint Capella's killing the Knicks in the pick and roll right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising. Lucas says just got to keep momentum going and don't put Mike Scott back on the court, no matter what.
Please don't.
Love that.
Find Ricky. Put Ricky in.
Yeah, we'll find Ricky, drag him out the stands. He'll come on and play for a bit. Jay Fizzle says...
I did hear back from Ricky real quick, and just to listen to him describe how things are there. All I did was just ask him how it was and how it was down there, and he replied with one word: electric.
Really?
And then as we continue talking, going on later, he compared it to Flyers Stadium Series games.
Wow.
Like playoff Eagles games. I mean, that's the vibe at the Sixers game right now. So it really just unbelievable. He's already claimed it. If they make a finals run, tickets are a must. So get the piggy banks out, start saving, because they will be pricey. But if it does happen, I mean, I gotta find a way to get myself there too.
I was gonna say, how much would they be? Do you reckon, like finals tickets?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. I've never really in my fandom, really not coming to the Sixers until 2009. It's never come up before.
Yeah.
So it's never been something I've needed to concern myself with. But I mean, you're talking, I'm sure, hundreds of dollars for nosebleeds.
Yeah. Not ideal.
And it could be worth it.
Yeah, Jarrell said $2,000 minimum. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary. I mean, even Eagles regular season tickets are pricey, but seeing, and I think any team get to the playoffs, like in this market, knowing how passionate they are, again, you hear it again on TV and how insane those fans are and the noise they're making. I think this is the most excited a fan base has been about the Sixers for years. But not only that, they've had a whole year of not being able to see the team. So the desire to see them, to want to make noise, to get involved is that much higher. Now you're in a playoff push. Now finals are a possibility. I think it would probably, it might even succeed or succeed the Super Bowl, to be honest, just because of, it's this pent up passion as opposed to you've had a whole year of building. It's like you want to let all this out. You want to chant MVP for Joel Embiid, and you can't do it. So I think
the other thing is too, obviously, listen, Philly fans travel extremely well. We all know this. Even out in Minnesota, we had our fair share of fans there. But I mean, you're talking about a stadium of at least 80% pure Sixers.
Yeah.
If not 90. So to have that percentile of your, of the populace inside the building just being absolutely crazy, hungry, starving fans, it's just, I mean, I think you're right in that sense that it could be, a crazier environment than even the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it would definitely be an experience to behold. So if you are debating tickets, should that ever arise, definitely get yourself down and do it. Jokers says, this team needs Embiid, this is rough, Ben's getting exposed, not hitting threes is hurting us. Definitely the latter part. I don't know about Ben being exposed. What do you think about Ben this evening? I mean, he's been...
Yeah, no, he's not getting exposed. Ben's playing fine. He hasn't been guarding Beal, so you can't blame Beal's offensive, his 21-point outburst. You can't blame that on Ben Simmons. You can say maybe that he should be guarding Bradley Beal, but you can't say that he's being exposed defensively and offensively. I mean, he's got 9 points and 4 assists. That's about what we expected. He's doing okay from a hack-a-Ben standpoint. So, there's not really... I wouldn't agree with that per se. He's been exposed in parts during the series, but I think he's adapted quite well, and I think he's doing pretty good. I won't say he's not doing great, but he's doing pretty good this game so far.
Yeah, so second half officially underway, and it starts off with nice defensive stint there by Philadelphia. Oh, God, open with a 3. Oh, Seth, unlucky. That would have been the perfect continuation from the end of the first half.
Oh, sure.
Instead, yeah. Oh, was that an air ball?
That's an air ball.
Love to see it.
Is that Hachi? That's Hachi.
Yeah, I thought, that wasn't good. Oh, dear.
No, he didn't tip it. Come on, stop it.
That's the curse of Liam saying he's good. That's what happens there.
Yeah. I do. I mean, I really do like Hachimura. I think this Wizards team has the ability to become good. It's going to be difficult with the Westbrook contract, though it's easier with the Westbrook contract than I think the John Wall contract.
Yeah.
I think that they should look to move on from Denny Avdija just because I don't think he fits long term. But I mean, you have your shooting guard in Beal, you have your power forward in Hachi, you have your center in Gafford. Really find yourself a young point guard to bring up under Westbrook and try and strike big and get a quality two-way swing in the draft. And you got a good young team, headed by an aging star, but nonetheless.
Yeah, we'll see what they can cook up now. So Westbrook, having previously drained a 3, that's 5 points in 2 possessions. Yeah, he just doesn't slow down. He's just an endless mode.
Yeah.
I remember,
Yeah.
Totally irrelevant story. My first ever pair of Jordans that I bought properly were Westbrook 2.0s, just because the way he plays. I just really resonate with him, and it's like to know that back then I would have been like maybe 19, 20, and that 7, 8 years later, he's just as good as he ever was. I don't know. I think we're definitely entering like an era of athlete now where, I know nutrition plays a big part of it, and this is again a very off-topic thing, but players are able to sustain careers a lot longer than they would have done, maybe even 5, 10 years ago.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to say it. Players are better now than they were then, and a big reason for it is because of nutrition. It's because of sports science, the different new ways to exercise. And it's, I think in a lot of cases, too, work ethic. We don't have guys who are going out for beers and cigars after the game, and while that may not be as cool in NBA as, say, the 80s were, it's led to better athletes. This NBA is far more athletic. We clearly have better shooters than the NBA has ever had. We are in the best, from a overall talent standpoint, the best era of NBA basketball right now.
Yeah, Seth Curry is cooking to start the second half as well.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're talking about that we need. We need Curry and we need Green to both.
Is there a restaurant chain called Little Chef in America?
Little Chef?
Yeah.
Not that I've heard of.
Oh, damn it. Because there's one in England. It died out a few years ago, but it's trying to be a good name, isn't it? Like Little Chef. Because Chef Curry, yeah, Little Chef. Kind of sounds similar. Could be a terrible name.
Yeah, I mean, really, what he should do is he should open up a curry cuisine restaurant. Not saying that's the name, but the specialty is in different dishes of curry. I know.
This is literally just like me playing 2K now. Just run down, same player, yeah, he's all, it'll do it, go on.
Look, if Seth Curry opened up a curry restaurant, I'm going to eat there. I'm just telling you that right now. Good defense. Is that 9 points in the quarter already for Seth?
Oh, go on again.
Make it 12.
Oh, surely that's a foul, though.
Chance for 12.
Oh, my God.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And this is what I'm talking about. This is a big part of the reason why. Oh yeah, that's an undercut. I mean, there's the sale by Curry, but that's an undercut nonetheless. Yeah, he's crucial. Is he going to be? Does he play every game like this? No. But to be able to have a player who can score and more importantly shoot like he can, at a value contract like he has. Yeah, no, I'm trying to keep Seth Curry as long as I can.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I'd be exactly the same. I just think when he's hot, like, remember the start to the season he had? Like, he was piping hot to start the year.
Yeah. Yeah, he was far and away the best shooter in the league before he had COVID.
Yeah.
3 for 3.
I was going to say imagine if he hadn't, but, I mean, the Sixers are in the playoffs anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
No, but if he hadn't, I mean, he would have easily had a career year, and it just would have been amazing. I'll tell you, Isaac has a great idea. Matisse Thybulle as CB2 for the Eagles. I'd be all for it. I would be all for it.
Oh, was Westbrook kicking off about?
Oh, he's pushing Hachi.
I was good. Yeah, it didn't look too friendly.
Mm-mm.
Oh dear. What's the upset about?
He felt a reach, and I guess there was a no call.
Yeah, I think that call was a bit of a reach, to be honest, Russ. I'm not going to lie, mate.
And then he, out of frustration, fouls Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, wow.
I love that. There's the makeup.
Damn it, man.
And that's the makeup call.
It's annoying. It's annoying to watch stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, just like Carl Neto is annoying.
Yeah.
I don't miss him one bit, I'll be honest with you.
I was just going to ask that.
He's
what your
done pretty
opinions
well
on
in this series against us, but I don't miss him.
Oh, there's what, Westbrook again?
Brick.
Oh, wow.
I cursed it. Yeah, it's a good competitive quarter. You know, Westbrook's played really well this quarter, you got to say.
It's been headlined by him and Curry just going almost a case of anything you can do, I can do
better.
Wide
open.
Oh,
wide open.
bang.
Oh.
That was the cleanest three I think I've seen all night.
I know. I thought it was short. It was so clean.
Yeah, same. Oh, come on. Whoa. Man. It's getting chippy.
It is getting chippy. I'm glad that they went no call on that, though. That's
whoa,
no foul?
There you go. Oh, well done. Oh, yeah, this is getting... it's a bit racy.
Yeah, that one, not the flagrant foul that should have been called last game, but still, you know, he wasn't being careful with Simmons, I'll say that.
No, not at all. Yeah, so Seth on the night has made 3 threes, 26 points. 12 of those have come in the last, 5 minutes?
Yeah, it certainly feels that way. I mean, he's been absolutely electric.
Yeah.
This quarter so far.
Yeah, it's the first little break.
Westbrook and Beal already combined for 50 points.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I just saw the Bills on 28.
Yeah, what's really going to be interesting is what the first bench lineup looks like. You know, once Simmons and Harris and Curry come out of the game, you know, can the offense keep it up? Because you're looking at 66 points between those three. Yeah, that is by far the majority of the offense tonight. 16 points from... Is that right? No, that's not right. 26 points from everyone else combined.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying this little slideshow you got on there? Look at that. You see Ricky's face pop up in a minute on the...
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. Good for him. I'm happy that he's out there getting
me too. It. We love Ricky.
Yeah, we do love Ricky. Oh, the weekend's coming.
I thought you meant as in like the singer then.
No, yeah. There was an advertisement for the weekend coming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not going to go, but... Things happening in your Philadelphia area.
I see. Got it. Right, yeah.
All right. The Frosty Freeze out. Consecutive free throws. Everyone can win one of the items.
His album was I think all of his albums
DC, but for a while, DC, their thing was you miss 2 free throws, you get a free sandwich from Chick-fil-A. And I'm like, that's a baller move.
Oh, wow. How much money
really
would they lose doing that?
I think they stopped doing that, but that was like, oh my gosh, like, I mean, that's how you reward your fans for missed free throws, you know? What good chicken places do you have out there in England?
We've got a little known joint called KFC, and that's about it.
And
now,
really,
to be fair,
that's it?
I'm doing Nando's and Injustice. We've got Nando's, and that is That's the pinnacle.
I've heard of Nando's.
Everyone loves a cheeky Nando's. That I remember that being a thing in like 2012 where it was like everyone on Tumblr said, "Oh, cheeky Nando's," and Americans were like, "What the hell does cheeky mean? What's a Nando's?" And it was just this thing that blew up. But yeah, a Nando's is like it's like peri peri chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in I wonder if our former friend David Esser was familiar because they have him in the Maryland area.
Oh, okay.
And of course, with him going to school in said area, he may have been familiar.
Yeah, I don't want to mention his name.
I'll have to ask him next time I'm never talking to him again.
Yeah, he doesn't exist anymore. We're going to pretend that.
No, we still love David Esser.
So peri peri chicken is like, it's just, I don't know how to describe it, like peri peri, like spicy chicken.
Yeah, like you remember Reggie Perry used to play in the NBA? It's like that, but chicken.
But chicken, yeah. Let me get if you Google Nando's, it's going to do it better because I've only had it a couple of times. And being the little baby I am.
Was Nando's peri peri. Oh, wait, actually, there is something. It says, what is peri peri?
I think you can get, like, the sauce imported as well.
It's
like,
pepper.
Is it pepper?
It's the African bird's eye chili.
Yeah, I have not. See, I'm really lame because everyone's like, Nando's is great. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't have anything on the chicken. I'll just have, like, bland chicken and chips. I don't care.
Oh, my gosh, you're awful.
I know. I love it. I love dry chicken. See me.
Just eat dry chicken? Listen, it's not even like, you didn't even just say, like, all right, so people talk about, like, naked wings or whatever, and you didn't even go there. You specifically used the word dry. Dry chicken.
It's dry.
Unbelievable.
But it's like, I don't know. I don't mind it. I'm not a big spicy boy. I don't like spice too much, so...
Well, yeah, but I don't know. So is it all dry rub, or is it a peri peri sauce?
Oh no, it's like, well, I don't know because I've never had it, so I just have the dry chicken.
Fair enough.
You go mild all the way up to like peri peri. I'm not gonna...
But like when you say dry, is it still like nice, like greasy fried chicken?
Yeah, it's still it's still juicy. It's just...
All right, so it's still like a wet chicken. It's just that it doesn't have sauce on it. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Okay.
But I need to get you like the
acceptable.
sauce. Can you get... I'm going to see if you can get a peri peri sauce in America, and I will ship you some because...
Oh, I already told you there's Nando's in America.
Yeah, that blows my mind. I still can't get over that. So we've only just got Taco Bell here.
Baltimore, but
Nando's USA. Let's have a look. Location.
Like it's literally like I'm looking at like 20 of them and they're all just in there.
That's so crazy.
It's so weird why it's localized right in that spot.
That's got to be recent. Surely. But yeah, I'd recommend it though. If you're ever up that way, definitely grab a Nando's because it's worth it.
I got family in Virginia. I might drive through and get some Nando's sometime.
Do it. Have a but you have to caption it cheeky Nando's. That's the rule.
Cheeky Nando's.
It's got to be a cheeky Nando's.
I'll be sure to send you a picture of my dry chicken.
Yeah. Just one singular, like half dried chicken.
We did that. We drove to Nashville for a wedding, and we did... have you ever heard of a Bojangles?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, people in the chat, let me know what you think about Bojangles. But so we were, as Northerners, we, of course, had to go to Bojangles on our trip down to Tennessee, and it was... man, was it disappointing.
Really?
Just not, I'll be honest, like, I'm pretty content having Popeyes. I got Popeyes down the street. We got Royal Farms fried chicken. If anyone here is local, Royal Farms is not bad. And for a chicken sandwich, still hard to beat Chick-fil-A, so...
Jerome says, name is sus, but I do want to go try it. It's always ones with the dodgy names that tend to be the best ones, though.
That is true. That is true.
Oh, what's that?
A beautiful pass by Ben Simmons.
Yeah. All right, so now I might see a little bit of the bench unit. Tease looks like he's coming off.
Yeah.
Unless it's the timeout. I'm not sure. Yeah,
it was a long stretch with the starters, so it really does. It looks like it's time.
But it's been beneficial, though.
Have you paid attention at all to Rajon Tucker when he's been in?
Maybe.
He hasn't been in. He hasn't been in lately, but like towards the end of the season, he's the other two-way contract that the Sixers had.
I've not personally.
So let me talk about him real quick. The Sixers obviously have a lot of young guard depth. Thibault can be considered a guard. Uh, Shake and Maxey are obviously both combo guards. Even Korkmaz can be considered a two guard, and I get that. But this Rajon Tucker guy, I mean, his level of intensity, his defensive ability, at the very least, Sixers fans should be hoping they bring him back for another two-way. I'm almost ready to give him a roster spot because what he can do athletically, this dude could win the dunk contest. All right.
Okay.
Just to talk about his athleticism for a second, that's how athletic he is. But when you pair that with his defensive intensity, and if he continues to work on his 3-point shot, I think that there's a diamond in a rough, clearly right there in Rajon Tucker. They just showed him on the screen is what got me thinking about him again. But that's somebody who, Sixer fans, let's hope that the team does what they can to keep him around because him, obviously I mentioned, everybody, Korkmaz, Milton, Thibault, Maxey, and of course when you factor in Paul Reed, that's a really good young bench core going forward in the future.
No, definitely exciting. I think I love that though, the fact that there are these guys on two-way deals that are really, over the past couple of years, starting to crack through. Like even in a lineup where people see the Sixers now as real contenders, obviously the best team in the East, where it is that big three of Harris, Embiid, and Simmons, knowing that even deep down you are still getting that level of progression, like it's encouraging.
Yeah. Well, even when you talk about the other two-way player that the Sixers secured in Gary Clark, I think there's a chance that Gary Clark comes back and either replaces at least Anthony Tolliver on the roster, or he might be looked to replace Mike Scott. They're not the same type of player, of course, but when you talk about that backup power forward, if Paul Reed is looked at more as a 5, or if they deem he's not quite ready yet, that's certainly a situation where you could see Gary Clark, his history with Daryl Morey, he does have he's an athletic defender who is an okay shooter, but that athletic defense is clearly valuable in Philadelphia. Really, there's a lot of players on this team the Sixers could look to retain. Yeah,
definitely. And continuity, especially with this team specifically, I think is so big, given how much of that star power is still so young. If you continue to build it and you can keep those guys on cheap contracts to maximize the top end of the roster, then the more the merrier.
No, I definitely agree. And then, really, it's going to be interesting to see what they do in the draft this year as well. They have so much young talent already. Do they trade their draft pick? Do they try and keep it? There's actually some notable young players who might be available. Tankathon, for instance, has the Sixers mocked with Josh Christopher, shooting guard out of Arizona State. And you're talking about a bouncy 6'5" shooting guard who, the guy is young. He's got a lot of potential going forward. That could be another Maxey-esque steal. So it's going to be interesting going forward because the Sixers are prepared to win now. But at the same time, they have a roster that looks good for the future also.
Yeah, Jarrell just has said, do you think you make a splash move for Zach LaVine this offseason?
All right. Zach LaVine, I would love on this team. I don't think... Okay, let me tell you what I think is more likely. I think it's more likely, unfortunately, that you see Chicago try and acquire Ben Simmons to pair with Zach LaVine. I don't think that there is a way to get him here because any deal would include Ben Simmons, and I think Chicago is not looking to add Ben Simmons if they're giving away Zach LaVine. I think if you're giving away LaVine, you're looking for kind of a Paul George mini package. Not as many draft picks exchanging hands, but it's something that I would love for it to happen, but I just don't see any possible way. Even if you were to trade Maxey, Thibault, multiple firsts, and say George Hill and Seth Curry to make money work, I don't see any way that it happens, and I think that's really unfortunate because I think the Sixers had a window to trade for him, and they failed to maximize that opportunity.
Yeah, it's. I remember you being probably one of his biggest advocates in the off-season. There was a lot of Zach LaVine love for PSN. Probably for a couple of years now, almost, I want to say.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, I've wanted him in Philadelphia really since he made the comment where he basically literally said that he wanted to play with Simmons and Embiid.
Oh, my God.
Very, very on the nose. Since then it was very, all right, let's get him here. Let's just do it. And he's gotten better and better as a player, and he's going to be a max contract player he'll be a max contract player unless he qualifies for the supermax by his next. I think he has one, if not two more seasons after this on that about $19 million a year contract. So once he gets past there, he's going to get paid and he's going to deserve it. So. What a really, he's a special player. I don't think there's a way that Philadelphia adds him, though, unfortunately.
No, it's understandable, but it's a shame to see.
I'll be straight up. I'll take him over Bradley Beal.
Really?
And the reason why I would take him over Bradley Beal, I wouldn't take him over Bradley Beal in one season. But if you're talking about building a team for, over multiple years. Then yeah, I would take Zach LaVine. They're both very bad defenders, but he is not as bad a defender. His athleticism is a part of that. He's obviously much younger. That's certainly helpful too. And he is a better percentile shooter. Let me even pull up a comparison of Bradley Beal this season versus, say, Zach LaVine and how they shot. Beal career 3-point percentage of 37.7%, 34.9 from three this season. It's a lot of usage. He took 6.2 threes a game this year, but 8.4 last year. So right around 7 is where he's keeping it. Whereas Zach LaVine, obviously, his point per game ballooned to 27.4, but he's even going off of more attempts per game at 8.2, and he hit them at a 41.9% clip. I mean, it's just he's special, and so is Beal. Don't get me wrong, but if you're looking at a better fit with Philly, with Simmons and Embiid, I think it's LaVine because he can play that run and gun game with Simmons better. He can play that half court game with Embiid better. I feel like. He may not be that ace that you can hand the ball to at the end of games, at least to the degree that Beal can be that player. But when you have Joel Embiid in the post, you don't necessarily need that guy. So I certainly think that LaVine would be an amazing fit in Philadelphia. Again, unfortunately, I just don't see any way it happens.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out what the Wizards are challenging here. I think they're saying Ben Simmons got a finger on that, but I don't think they did, no. Stupid call. I think clearly trying to knock the momentum out of the sails.
Well, what I'll say is, at least they're willing to use a challenge. I still don't understand why there have been so many opportunities to challenge. I feel like Doc is not, in this game and in just the whole series altogether. And it just seems like Doc's disinterested in challenging. It's odd.
Yeah, either way, 7-point lead at the minute, 3 minutes left in the third quarter. And we'll see if the Sixers can maybe extend that. They're clearly almost in the heads of Washington at the moment.
Yeah.
Dwight gives to Maxey, who...
I'll tell you this, and I love Maxey getting to the bucket and picking up that foul. If he's got that much space, I want to see him drill a three. I mean, I think that would be what would really demoralize Washington. It really just a great game by the kid. Just amazing and moving screen by Howard, but no call, thankfully. It's really good to see him come through in such a high pressure situation, and he talked about how he handles that kind of pressure, and really he attributed it to preparing himself. Oh, okay. So it looks like they called the foul against.
Was that Westbrook?
Whoever ran into, I think it was Westbrook who ran into Howard. So they actually called a foul in Dwight Howard's favor. I am shocked.
Yeah. First time for everything, right?
Yeah, it never happens. But no, Maxey just he prepares for pregame, for those specific moments. How would I play in a moment where I'm getting quality minutes in a playoff game, or say, we're down in a scenario, how am I preparing? How would I play for that? That's just how I'm going to play the entire time. It's, the refs giveth, the refs taketh away. But really it just shows that mentally this kid is so far above so many others at his level, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I have to agree there for sure. Just a quick side note, who's on post game tonight?
I think it's me.
Okay, no worries. I know Sean had texted me, bless him, saying he's just got home and he's pretty burned out, so I was like, I could take it if you wanted to go to bed.
Who are you talking to, Sean?
Oh, no. Okay, so Sean texted me saying he's just got home and he's a little bit burned out. So I was going to say, I could take it if you wanted to go to bed, because...
I mean, if you want it, you can take it, because I got to show up extra early at work for a meeting in the morning, so... I would appreciate it, because I haven't slept.
All right,
there's been a lot going on in the Chavalola household lately, so sleep is, needed.
Nah, I'll get it. I'll do my best to cook something up and pretend I know what I'm talking about. I've done a good job of that tonight, so it's just.
I appreciate it. What I can do, if you want to do like a reaction piece, I'll get like a breakdown at some point tomorrow, because I do have a half day at the 9 to 5.
Okay.
So I can crack like a detailed piece.
Sure.
Thereafter, especially after a win, I can work on a killer series summary / slow feed into the next game. So.
Nah, sounds good to me, mate. And on that note, Dwight Howard to the line again. Look at that.
Yeah. And he's hitting his free throws. Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, so that lead's starting to creep up just a little bit now for the Sixers. Which we'd love to see. Just trying to run away towards the end. At some point Washington are going to try and get a little bit, chirpy again, try and get those late calls, but
yes,
I think, I don't know,
I'd
almost
just
been
try
a
and
mind
get
to
Philadelphia out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, I'd almost been a mind to get, well played, Ben. I was going to say put Simmons on the bench for a little bit, but after seeing a play like that, and you just see how impactful he is on the defensive end,
I say you let him ride out the quarter, and then you rest him like the first 5-6 minutes of the fourth.
Yeah. No, that was this great hustle by Ben. It's a shame it couldn't quite get it back in.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 minutes to go in the third, and it's 8-point lead at the moment. And it will remain that way. Nice little rebound. Oh, you've got to feed it. All it takes, I reckon, a 3 here at some point. Oh. That Dwight again?
Yeah, it's Dwight again. That is Dwight again. He's doing a good job picking up these fouls.
Very much on sort of clean-up mission right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on the night, Howard's got 7 points, 2 blocks, 2 assists, and 5 rebounds. So he's doing all right. He's put in a good shift, which
he's having a really good game here. It's encouraging. It's needed. It is necessary to have this kind of a game. But he's really coming through, and that's great to see, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, guys, if you're just joining us and you're coming in for the, I suppose, the final leg of this marathon now, hoping the Sixers can get that win. It could have been a sweep. We were hoping it would have been a sweep, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to be. However, the next best thing would be a win in, 5 games? Yeah, it's 5, isn't it? 6 in 5, which would be...
5 games.
That'd be good. I'd like that. That'd be nice. Wiizards have well and truly lost it. They can't handle the crowd, says Lucas. I wish I could hear it. Unfortunately, having to watch this game on mute to make sure we don't get shouted at by the angry copyright people
yes.
means I don't get to experience it. But if they're being loud, then that's what we like to hear. And I think at a time like this, where the lead's starting to build, momentum's clearly shifted into Philly's favour, then yeah, that's when the heads are going to go. Ben Simmons has had more pass deflections tonight than every Eagles cornerback all last year. Except Darius Slay.
Yeah, I think maybe even including Slay.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, it wasn't. And to talk about the Eagles, for 5 seconds, if you can sign an okay CB2, I think you're going to be looking at a great year out of Darius Slay. Because I think the talent's still there. It's just a matter of you got to have talent on every other position of the team also in order for a player to truly shine. Unless you're, say, I don't know, I feel like a middle linebacker is somebody who, kind of real old-fashioned thumper is someone who can still shine kind of on their own. But like when you're a corner like Slay, they're just going to throw to the other side of the field.
Yeah.
So you don't really get that opportunity to shine if the rest of your team is not even decent.
No, that's the thing. And like even in the games where he was decent.
Oh my goodness, the way he saved that ball was amazing.
Can I convert on the other end? That's the question. Go on. Put it up to make it a double-digit lead. Going into the fourth quarter.
Oh, that would be major. If you can have Ben. a 10. Ooh, yeah. If you can have a 10-plus point lead going into the fourth, I mean that's just absolutely major.
See, it's those flashes where Ben can be so dominant.
Yeah.
And it's kind of remind you how talented he is. It's just a case of trying to tie it all together for a complete package. But yeah, when he's on, I think he's unstoppable.
Yeah. Well, I do wonder, not that I want to move on from Simmons because I've been very clear, especially as of late, that I do not. And actually, Sean Bernard and I recently talked about this on the most recent episode of the Baseline Scoop. But while I don't want to get rid of Simmons, I do wonder what he would be like on a team like, say, the Houston Rockets.
Yeah.
The Detroit Pistons, where he would have the opportunity to be a number one option. Is Ben Simmons still this, or does Ben Simmons all of a sudden become a 20-point, a night scorer? What does that exactly look like? So it's interesting. Hopefully, we'll never find out because hopefully he'll always play well enough that Korkmaz great.
Yeah, that's got to be one of them now.
It doesn't matter because the team and freaking Korkmaz are playing too well that Simmons, wins multiple championships here, and it's never a story again.
Yeah, nice little...
That hook, that Robin Lopez hook, man.
Oh, go on. Oh, unlucky.
Oh, it looked on target. It was just short.
End of the third, Doc's fired up. I think Philadelphia's fired up. 103-94 is the lead. Now the Sixers have pulled out a 9-point gap to the Washington Wizards. That was a much better third quarter there. I think that all came together. Seth Curry pretty much, got them the leg up they needed. But
he was electric that quarter. I think he 12 points. I think 12 points in that quarter for Seth. Just absolutely unbelievable. And Simmons had a strong quarter. Harris put up another 6 points that quarter. He's having a good game. 22, 8, and 4. And we're only 3 quarters in. That's what we need from Tobias Harris. He's really doing a great job. And Maxey's slowed down a little bit in the scoring, but that's also because his usage has gone down. He only played 4 minutes as opposed to 12 in the first half. So, we'll see what happens. I think early fourth, he's going to get his opportunity to shine. And even possibly as we reach the closing minutes, you may see Doc continue to roll with Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, you could see it happening. I mean, again, barely played much in that second half, but I think he had to. And it was important, I think, for the Sixers to establish that, get the first guys in, try and build a bit of a lead. They were lucky West. I think if Seth Curry didn't heat up as much, you'd have probably seen those rotations a bit sooner. But
I think so too.
Tobias was knocking them down. Seth was doing well. Ben Simmons was facilitating. Matisse quietly has had a good game. I think that's kind of his biggest compliment is that he's always quietly having good games. He's just so impactful
Well, I mean,
in that
you look
defensive
beyond
end.
the defense. 7 points is, and people might laugh at 7 points being complimented, but for Matisse Thybulle, that's what you want. You want to see him getting 7+ points in a game. If he can start, and if he can score you 7 to 10 points plus his defense, I mean that's probably the most you can expect out of a player like Thybulle, and that's fantastic. So, really excited to see his offensive game so far. Hoping to see a little more offensively out of Danny Green, a little more opportunity for Tyrese Maxey. George Hill and Shake Milton are kind of just floating around right now, and it's a little, I won't say concerning, but just disappointing. But it's one game, Let's see how they fare against what looks like will be a matchup against the Atlanta Hawks, who are currently up 7 in a potential series clincher.
Love to see it. Steve says hello. I hope you're doing well, man. Fingers crossed your shift at work went all well. I open up Twitter and the first thing I see is a tweet from Sean saying getting Danny Green in a deal that got rid of Al Horford was a highway robbery. And can't disagree with that one. Sean on the money again.
No, 100% correct.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that would have been better is if Doc Rivers and Daryl Morey didn't both individually alienate Chris Paul, and we found a way to actually make that Chris Paul trade happen for Al Horford. But other than that, great. Danny Green, fantastic. Absolutely. I mean, it's a clear, and the thing is, I think it kind of worked as it was a real win-win for both teams, which so rarely happens in the NBA. But to just get Danny Green, to get a player of his caliber, his leadership, and his flexible contract, and to move on from Al Horford, who, I mean, I don't even know what he's going to do in the future. I mean, they sat him because they're going to look to offload him, but the question is to offload him to where?
Yeah.
Who can really take him? Now that Brad Stevens is running things for the Boston Celtics, is he going to find a way to bring him back? I don't really think so, but how many other spots do you think there are actually going to be for Al Horford? I mean, it's just going to be, he's going to be bad money from here on out until he's eventually bought out. I think that's really it. Unless, who else has bad money across the league?
Was that Maxey on the... Oh, my God. Sorry, I just got distracted there. I thought it was Howard who got the block, but Maxey...
No, absolutely.
Got a hand on it. Yeah, game of his life. I might just do a piece saying how good Tyrese Maxey's been tonight, to be honest. I'll just make that the focal point of it, because... Yeah, definitely been the little spark plug, as you rightly labelled him earlier on, as Westbrook gets... Well, I'm assuming it's going to be the first of a few trips to the line tonight by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Or for the rest of the quarter, at least, anyway. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit intense. Washington have got some work to do. Philly probably going to try and play them at their own game. They know they've got the crowd roaring behind them. Just hope there's not another popcorn incident, for the love of all things Westbrook.
If the Golden State Warriors are looking to move off of Andrew Wiggins, that is the only scenario that I can see there being a straight-up trade for Al Horford, just based off of numbers and fit. So, yeah, things not looking too good for Horford and OKC. You're probably looking eventually at a buyout.
Oh, caught Mass again from 3. Is that his third of the night?
That is...
I want to say it's his third.
Yeah, we'll call it third. Why not?
Okay.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I got him at 2. Oh, no, that's 3.
Look at that.
My box score didn't upload yet, but yeah, that's 3.
Oh, go on, Tyrese.
Just gorgeous. I mean, just unbelievable.
Yeah, he's special. He really is.
I have a Sixers basketball group chat, and one of the dudes just dropped it. Westbrook would be in his feelings in a pickup game. So disrespectful. It's so true. Look at that. 13.
That was saucy.
Up 13. Beautiful. Ricky chiming in. Pretty sure the fart just exploded after that Maxey layup.
I bet. I mean, yeah, that was unbelievable, to be fair. He's just had a hell of a game. So what's he on now? He's on 11 points. 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. What an outing.
Yeah. It's a quality game. Quality game.
Just got to see.
And I'm just so happy that that they're showing this resilience, without Embiid in the lineup. This fight. It's major to have that going for you.
Byron Burke says, is Beal available in the offseason?
No. That is a hard no. He should be, but he has maintained that he wants to be a Kobe Bryant-esque player, never play for another franchise. It may also potentially have something to do with the Wizards eventually being able to offer him a supermax contract. Who am I to decide? But yeah, he's not looking to go anywhere. They're not looking to move him. So the only way that I could potentially see that happening is, I can't. Actually, I can't even come up. If you were to be able to offer multiple high-end first-round picks this season, plus good players, you might possibly be able to get him. So, we're talking about if the Warriors were to win the lottery, and they would then have, let's say they get the number 1 overall pick, they get Cade Cunningham. So you get Cade Cunningham, you have your 6th, 7th, 8th pick in the draft that they have from Minnesota. You throw in literally everything: Jordan Poole, Eric Paschall, James Weissman, and Klay Thompson. And maybe then you can get Beal. But there's really no way that he's moved.
Yeah, on that note, talking of moving, the Sixers back onto the court. So fourth quarter about to resume. Seeing a nice little highlight reel from some of Tyrese Maxey's best bits on the screen. He's just been lights out. Rick says, will Embiid be ready for game 1 of the next series?
Likely not. I don't think he's going to sit for the entire series. I would expect him. First off, it depends on how the series goes, right? If they blow out Atlanta in game 1 and game 2, I don't see Embiid playing in game 3.
Yeah.
If they're struggling a bit to start, I won't say the Sixers will rush Embiid, but I think Embiid will kind of rush Embiid, and the Sixers will play, allow him to do so. And in that situation, I really think Game 3 is the earliest that you see Joel Embiid getting with this injury, and it's not the worst. I don't want to downplay it, but it's not the worst injury. With him, it's a very small meniscus tear. A lot of people have been saying this now, but it's funny. I was actually told this. I got a very small tear in my meniscus a few years back playing basketball, and the person who diagnosed me actually explained how when you think, and not even just athletes, but people in general, there are so many people who have small tears in their meniscus and they're just walking around and they don't even know it.
Really?
So with it being a small tear, and I'm not saying that's like 50% of the populace, but the point is it's a larger number than you would expect.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it may not bother him too much. The way that they're looking to go about this process is avoid surgery really at all costs. And there's 2 types of surgeries that you can do in terms of torn meniscus. There's a repair, and then there's like a clean out, like a scope. And with the scope, it's typically a quicker recovery time. And I don't know this all. I've had this explained to me by a doctor today because I had this. I heard this conversation. This is not my medical Dookie Howser knowledge here, but with meniscus tear, again, if you do go with the surgery option, there's 2 paths. If you go with the clean out option with the scope, it's a quicker return time, but there's an increased likelihood of arthritis as time goes by. Whereas if you go for the repair, it's the longest return time of all three options. And then, of course, there's your rest, which is kind of that middle return time, but there's no guarantee that it's going to completely heal just by rest. So rest is what they're going to go for, especially since they're near the end of the season. I really think that you'll see him probably around Game 3 or so against Atlanta, unless things are just going that well against the Hawks.
Yeah, that's understandable. So Lindy says, what's up? How you doing, man? I hope all is well with you and your channel is coming along well. Charlie says Embiid's the key to winning the championship. I think he might be.
To winning the championship, 100% he's the key. That's it.
I mean, realistically, how far can they get into that next series without Embiid, do you think?
I think they can beat the Hawks without Embiid. I think they can beat the Knicks without Embiid if they somehow turn around and win that series against the Hawks they're playing right now. When you're talking about Milwaukee or Brooklyn, Milwaukee, I don't like your odds, and I think there's next to no shot against Brooklyn without Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Because really, Embiid is the nice, good work. George Hill, look at that. Embiid is kind of your key against both teams. It's not surprising because he's the best player on your team, but he often would guard Giannis, and if Giannis is not hitting from three, which he tends not to be able to do, having Embiid on Giannis works very well. So there is your defense against the best player on the entire Milwaukee Bucks team. Gone with injury potentially. When you talk about the Brooklyn Nets, you don't need to worry about Embiid defending, say, DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin, Nick Claxton, because they're just not going to score. But he is protecting the rim, which helps stave off drives from Kyrie Irving, from James Harden, and to a lesser degree Kevin Durant, who's typically more a mid to three range ISO player. But what you're also doing is you're having an offensively dominant player against probably the worst built against him team in the entire league. Blake Griffin would be a horrendous defensive option against Embiid. DeAndre Jordan is a very bad defensive option against Embiid. Nick Claxton is your best chance, and I actually like Nick Claxton. I think he's a player going forward, but even still too young, too small, too raw to hold back Embiid. So without him, I really don't think that you go that far, unfortunately.
No. Well, hopefully we'll have to find out the answer to that question. That's the good news.
And that's the thing. Again, with this type of injury, with some rest, especially if the team can take care of business against Atlanta, he can come back hopefully full strength against, maybe get him in, on a minutes restriction for that last game against Atlanta, or just go full rest. Either way, just give him an opportunity to recuperate, and he should be fine for a third playoff series.
Yeah, definitely. So the next step in getting to that will be obviously seeing off the Wizards. Currently a 12-point lead. It doesn't look like the starters will need to come back in at this point. Right now, that kind of mixed rotation taking care of business, and we'll see. Simmons out to Curry.
Yeah, what's interesting is that they're running Dwight Howard at center. There's that charge. Okay. They're running a hybrid offense, like you said, in the sense that they're running Dwight Howard and Tyrese Maxey with the three hottest offensive members of the starting lineup. And basically, what Doc has done is he's taken his five best players this game and put them in a starting lineup, or in the lineup rather. And it seems obvious, but that was the exact right thing to do. Now, there's a second quick drawn foul against Simmons, and that's a bad call. That's just a really bad call right there. That is,
yeah.
They're saying that he tripped out.
Oh, wow. I was just seeing it in slow-mo.
Tripped over his own foot. See, Doc Rivers, give me a challenge. Challenge that. This is the time you need to challenge this call. I get it. You have 3 timeouts left. It's only a 12-point game. There's about 8 minutes left. You don't know what's going to happen in the rest of the game. But that's something you got to challenge because how many fouls does Ben Simmons have right now? He's got to be creeping up.
Yeah. Oh, and Tigray says nothing but net swish, 3 points only, dunk on them, etc. We love the support, Tigray. Up the Sixers. Love that from him. And hopefully we'll get it done. I mean, so far, it's just looking like Washington are resorting to their old and tried and tested methods of trying to be shithouses, but...
Yeah, so that's it's 3 personal fouls against Simmons, so it's not too bad on that regard. As far as team fouls this quarter, charge doesn't count towards team foul. We got 1. I mean, it's egregious, but in the end, Doc was right not to challenge that play just because the risk reward was out of it. You know, there's only 2 team fouls. 2 team fouls this quarter. 2 team fouls this quarter. 2 personal fouls on Ben this quarter. 3 personal fouls total. It's frustrating, but it was the right move.
Yeah.
But with that said, a 14-point lead.
Can't complain. Looking very smart right now. Which, if we would said before the game, if the Sixers would win this by double digits without Embiid, I think we would take that any day of the week.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the... Listen, a lot of people were thinking best case scenario, you eke out a win against the Wizards. So if you can have, like you said, a double-digit win, especially one that this game's close to going away, you feel so much better about the rest of the team. And the thing is, you know Seth Curry's not going to be able to keep this up. You know, he might not have another 30-point game in him. He's at 28 right now, 30-point game in him in the rest of the playoffs. But if he's getting hot, that's nothing but great. You know, Tyrese Maxey, great. You're understanding your rotation too, where Shake Milton's only played 5 minutes. Mike Scott's only played 3. That's probably what you want to do going forward. You know, you want to have, especially with Embiid out, this starting lineup seems to have worked. Maxey as your 6th man, Dwight is your leading center off the bench, your leading big man, and then fill it out with Korkmaz and Hill. Get your shooters in there. You know, get your hot shooters in there, and that's or should be hot. Obviously, Hill has not been, but that is what the formula has been tonight. It's been very successful, and that's what it should be going forward.
Yeah, nice to see some Sixers fans all jazzed up and strutting their stuff as well. I've missed those fan cams, I can't lie.
Yeah.
It's nice seeing them back. Where do we see Ricky? Where's Ricky in one of these?
I know, I can't wait to see.
There he is.
No, that's him. That's him right there, yeah.
I wish everyone else could see that.
There.
That would have been amazing, bless him. But yeah, so it's 116-100 at the moment. What a game so far. Isaac says, Seth Curry having a 30-point game 2 games after Embiid had 1 is what I live for. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about somebody stepping up, and that's been Seth Curry.
Oh, no, he's been huge tonight. I mean, that third quarter was monumental.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubting just how...
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
The conversation that we'll have about Twitter's verification process. We'll have that conversation after we hop off this stream. But yeah, they certainly did redo their process.
What, the PSN one?
No, just the verification process on Twitter.
Oh, I got all excited then. I just checked it. Oh.
I noticed it for someone, and that gives me a good vibe for us. I'll just put it that way.
Oh, who is it?
That's why I'm going to talk to you after the stream.
Oh, no. It best not be who I think it is.
It's not a problem, and I'm very happy for this person.
Oh, no.
Nothing about that.
I thought it was someone else.
No, it's not that person.
Okay.
I know who you're thinking of. It's not that person.
I'm trying to think who it might be. Oh, I've seen who it is. Oh, no, I've clocked it. Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that bodes well for the PSN verification
If
process.
we don't and they do, there is actually a ref conspiracy against us, and I'm fuming.
I would feel the same way. I would feel the same way.
All right, here's to hoping.
Here's to hoping, absolutely.
All right, 6 minutes to go. 16 points. Just see it out now, gents. No need to be silly. Just, let them do what they got to do. Let them foul. Let them...
Keep it simple.
Around. Yeah. No need to go for aggressive threes. Just drain the clock. Play it nice and safe.
Yeah, I mean, let some time go. Work Ben Simmons in the post. They're running him defensively. Tobias Harris looks to be the center, but obviously you can expect Ben Simmons to play more of that traditional center role, though it looks like they're going a little bit of spread offense. And okay, now you got Harris coming out at the top. Oh, this is tricksy. Get the ball off.
Unlucky. Is that a foul?
Oh, that's a foul. Oh, that was close. That was too
Neto doing his
close.
old team some justice. We love to see it.
Oh my goodness. I love it though. I do. That's on is that on Beal? That looks like on Beal.
I thought it was on Neto. I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong.
It looked at it first, but it looked like it was Beal's hand that came down on Harris's wrist. Either way, I will take it. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
Let's take a look into the Knicks-Hawks game and see what's going on there. 74-61. Yeah, that series is done. The Hawks will be moving on, and that will be who the Sixers will face. Top performers in that game. Clint Capella's still doing pretty well, but not as well as he did during the first half. But Trae Young, 18-8, 3 quarters in. DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, the usual suspects there. Bogdan Herter, and then Danilo Gallinari with a solid 1-point effort.
Oh, he gave it a go.
That's the thing. They have a balanced offensive attack, so that's really going to be the biggest thing. Is you have Trae Young to worry about, but no one else is going to kill you.
Yeah.
Just make sure you can limit the team as a whole.
It's so weird watching a Sixers game without having to worry about a fourth quarter lead anymore.
Yeah. It's nice, but it's also there's a little anxiety around the relaxation that I'm feeling, It's like it's almost like guilt for feeling relaxed.
Yeah. As long as they can get a nice 2 here, it'll be... Oh. That works. It works.
Oh, that's a nice 2. 120 to 101. Beautiful. You love it. Amazing.
Oh. Yeah, Washington getting aggressive now. This can get ugly very quickly, I think.
That's it. The shot chucking has started. Simmons,
see, even there, Maxey, he thought about it.
Oh, he's not taking
He
the shot.
thought about it, but he played it. So I like that. That even arguably the most aggressive player on the court is still willing to just wait and wait and... Oh, go on, Seth. Oh, unlucky.
Yeah.
Would have loved him to just get another one.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Wow.
0 field goals in the last 4 minutes, 20 seconds for Washington.
Keep that streak going.
And that continues. What's the Ben Simmons triple-double watch at right now? Because you got to have one every game.
Oh, Tobias charges inside. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's getting ugly now.
19 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds.
Jeez.
Yeah. 2 rebounds away. Unfortunately, I don't know how much longer Ben Simmons is going to be in this game for. I think Doc might bench Simmons going into the final minutes of the fourth quarter. Not for the reasons that everyone thought. But
well, with a lead like that, I mean...
Oh, no, I can't blame him. Yeah, no, absolutely. This isn't, worried about Hackabend. This is the real reason why you would bench Ben Simmons going into the fourth, or with a few minutes left in the fourth.
Are Sixers favourites to get some of them fancy rings? Asks Seagray. I'd say they're, maybe third overall?
With Embiid, they're third overall.
Without Embiid, I mean, without Embiid for the next, let's call it 5 games, they're probably about 5 or so. I would still put them above, obviously Atlanta, they're above Atlanta. They're below Brooklyn, they're below Boston. I would put them above Phoenix, I'll be honest with you, even without Embiid. Below Utah. Above Denver. Probably below Clippers and above Mavericks, depending on who wins that series. Boston's out. Did I say Boston? Boston's out. No, above Brooklyn and Milwaukee is what I meant.
I forgot Nets were stacked. I forget how much depth that Nets team has. It's stupid.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. You know, I'm not worried. Listen, with a healthy Embiid, I'm not really worried about it, I'll be honest with you.
Really?
Like, I think it'll go, Ben Simmons.
Oh. Was that cool? I'm assuming that was called. Yeah.
I think it's a clear path. Because that's a clean steal.
Did he get hit though? So why did he pull back? No.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I thought he got pulled back.
That is egregious.
Gave up on basketball for a bit when Harden and Westbrook decided to hurt me. Okay. Yeah, which time? I'm assuming that'll be the OKC one. I got a serve without Joel, Nets, Milwaukee, then us.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Utah with a healthy Donovan Mitchell, that's a complete team. And having Rudy without Embiid to both guard him and play against him offensively, you know, Rudy will be able to play. Dwight Howard's not going to stop him.
Yeah.
So that one's still tough. You know, you can make the argument like, yeah, they still look better than the Clippers and the Mavericks, than the Nuggets, than the Suns even. But I think you got to give a little respect to Utah, as much as I really don't want to, just because they've got the formula. You know, they have 2 defensive guards who are both offensively capable. They have a great athlete, swingman, defensive-minded. They have a floor stretching forward. They have that solid rim protecting center, and then they've built a depth with shooting. You know, it's the right formula. You can argue that there could be better players involved as far as your stars are concerned, but it's the right formula.
Yeah, Westbrook looks dejected. That's great. Mm-hmm. It's setting in now.
Here comes Curry getting to 30. He's just 1 away now.
You know he's going to miss this and then he'll hit a 3. No, that's my prediction. Go on. Oh.
And the suspension is palpable.
Never mind.
There it is, 30 points. All right.
Well in, Curry. Seth over Steph, my MVP. Forever and always. Uyghur was on the the Rockets. Okay, I got you.
Apparently fans are chanting, "We want Brooklyn" in the Fard right now.
I'd love it. It would be such a hero and villain matchup.
Oh, yeah.
The Sixers will be the ultimate heroes to come from the process, and whereas like Brooklyn have fallen from grace to this super, like, it would be perfect. Yeah. Like, you couldn't storybook a better Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, my good friend Ty Clark, he actually wrote that piece for us about the the differences between the process that the Sixers underwent and the Brooklyn Nets underwent, and they're really, kind of two. I won't call them mirror images, but they're two sides of the same coin in a sense, where they both underwent, a process of losing, and one of them in the Brooklyn Nets situation, it was done out of a place of ineptitude, whereas there was a strategy in the place of the Sixers. The Sixers built with the players they were able to get through the draft. The Nets screwed themselves out of the draft picks and were only able to build thanks to interest in players coming to their market.
Yeah, Tyrese just going one further. That's his 13th point of the night.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah, you can just see the Sixers now. They're coasting. This is fun. Yeah. Even the very end of the game. I like this.
Yeah, I mean, a 19-point lead with 1:40 left. That's pretty confident in how this one's going to end up.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I mean, that was a dream game, really. I think they played that perfectly. Yeah. I mean, obviously,
there's that triple-double for Ben Simmons.
Huh?
He finished with that triple-double. Got that 19, 10, 11. 19, 10, and 11 for Ben Simmons. He did what he had to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better performance really from the Sixers team, like all things considered.
Yeah.
If there was ever a game for them to step up and just really, like as a team, just from the bench depth upwards, just shine, this was it, and didn't disappoint.
No, they really didn't. They it wasn't the best. Man, I can't even really find a hole, because when you look at the team, so Hachimura, Bradley Beal, and Russell Westbrook combined for 77 points. Right. That is a lot. The rest of the team, only 32 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty good defensive effort against everybody not named Rui Hachimura, Bradley Beal, and Russell Westbrook. And also, they all scored that amount, but Westbrook played 38 minutes. Bradley Beal played 40 minutes. Rui Hachimura played 43 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not like they put that up in 30 minutes. If you play enough minutes, you'll score 20 points.
Yeah. Oh.
As Brajon Tucker makes his way to the line. But really, even defensively, this was an impressive performance, and the second half especially was, just something special.
Yeah, I'm gonna go quickly find that meme now and tweet that out again, because now's the time since we can get it right for the sweep.
Yep.
There we go. Just a bit premature, but it's only a minute. There we go. Get that retweeted. And away we go. Here's to hoping. They all end lovely.
Okay.
And then I'll get right in a post game, and you guys can read that over at phillysportsnetwork.com, and we will let Zach go to sleep very, very shortly as well. Any closing questions from you guys in the chat? Do let us know. If you are just tuning in to see the Sixers advance to the second round of the playoffs in 5 games after what was a truly, I'd say, majestic effort in absence of Joel Embiid, then welcome. Have yourself a beer, relax, smile, wear the jerseys with pride. Tonight's the night that probably should have came, obviously 1 game ago, but it was more than worth the wait.
Yeah, I would definitely say the same. It just, obviously you wish Embiid never went down with that injury in the series, but to be able to now exhale and say, we're ready to move on to the second round. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, Jay Fizz says, outside of Trey, who on Atlanta is the biggest problem?
Well, so it gets a little difficult because when you look at who's the most talented offensive player after Trae Young, you have John Collins. He is obviously a 20-point potential scoring threat every night. He can stretch the floor. He's an athletic power forward. I would really say, though, that it'd be Bogdan Bogdanovic, just because if he gets hot from behind the three-point line, that's when you're really going to struggle. I mean, the guy, he averaged 16.4 points, but on 43.8 shooting from three this season. And that's on 7.6 attempts. I mean, he is a shooter. I really think that he is definitely someone to be on the lookout for. That's who I want. I want Simmons on Trae Young, and I want Matisse Thybulle on Bogdan Bogdanovic throughout the game, trying to lock him down as best they can. I think Harris can do an okay job against John Collins. I'm honestly a little bit, I won't say worried, but they need to game plan for Clint Capella. But a lot of that could be Simmons on rotations.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a fun series to watch for sure. But the final score, 129-112. The Sixers advance to the next round of the playoffs. A great night from Seth Curry, a strong night from Ben Simmons, and the Sixers will advance with relative ease without Joel Embiid here. Here's to hoping that he'll be back in the lineup sooner rather than later. But guys, I've got to make like a banana and split. I've got a post-game article to write, so that'll be up very, very soon over on phillysportsnetwork.com. And we're going to let Zach get some well-earned rest. If you want to follow us on Twitter, my Twitter is at Liam Jenkins PSN. I believe yours, Zach, is ZChavo PSN?
ZChavo PSN, that's me.
Nailed it.
Shoot me a follow. Always love to talk Sixers ball too. Any kind of NBA ball.
Yeah, and make sure PSN Radio, you're subscribing to it, because the Baseline Scoop podcast is, of course, part of it, where you can have Zach's opinions featuring many familiar faces and voices along the way as well. So make sure you're checking that out. From myself, from Zach, guys, enjoy the rest of your night. Make sure you take it easy, and we'll see you very, very soon. But the Sixers go through to the next round of the playoffs, and we'll see you for the first round very soon.
10-9-8 76ers.
MTC